Coming to you live from the snow apocalypse in Rutherford County in western North Carolina. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's playoff time, and we're about to get about 1.5 feet of snow here, right where I'm sitting right now. We're expecting about 15 or 20 inches of snow, and then some ice to come with it at the end. So hopefully that means that'll keep me home for the week, and I won't have to fucking go sit in that damn office and be bored. That'd be really great, wouldn't it? My shit working? It is. One moment I'll be able to see comments and everything. After a exhilarating week of sitting in a call center, not doing anything other than watching HBO Max and Disney Plus, because I used the dead air at work to catch up on Peacemaker and Boba Fett, I am now at home ready to watch some fucking playoff football and occasionally peek out my window here and wait for the snow to begin. A little snow flurry here earlier, but the heavy shit's coming. So hopefully, here's the deal. It's not supposed to be that icy here. It's supposed to be just mostly snow and then ice at the end. So hopefully I can get through all these playoff games without the power going out. If the power goes out, obviously I can't stream, but I'll watch the games on my phone. I'm keeping my phone constantly charged just in case the power were to go out sometime tomorrow. I'd still be able to watch the games. It would suck to not be able to stream them. Yeah, I live in western North Carolina, just below the mountains. We're about to get obliterated, so hopefully the power stays on all weekend. We've never had the power. It's never been a power problem here. The power problems are going to be where it's all ice, and that's kind of down in South Carolina, where they're probably just going to get ice. Here, we're going to get a shit ton of snow. So, snow is coming to western North Carolina, and there's a lot of it. But I'm happy because that means I won't have to go to work Monday or Tuesday. So, long weekend. Playoff football. I'm taking the Bengals to win this one. I think the Bengals can get to the championship game, but I think that's about it. Drew Brees and Mike Tirico in the booth. They need to give him the ball as much as possible today. He's a guy that it's supposed to be below zero in Buffalo tonight as well. It's going to be bad. I have a weird feeling about this game. I can't decide if the Bengals are going to blow the Raiders out or if it's going to be a close one. The Bengals won that one. That was in Vegas, but the stakes are a lot higher in Cincinnati today. Cincinnati against a team from Cincinnati. I had to watch pregame. I had to go on the Peacock app because on my local news they showed like an hour of just weather shit. So I'd sit here and fucking, it's gonna fucking snow, it's gonna ice, it's gonna mostly snow, then there's gonna be some ice and power out, blah 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 blah. It's like, we know it's gonna fucking snow. Can we watch pregame? So I went to the Peacock to watch pregame, and now I'm back on regular NBC. Supposed to get about 5 inches during the night and another 8 to 10 tomorrow. What's up, Andreas? I heard the weather's supposed to be shitty in Tampa tomorrow for the Eagles and Bucks game. It's supposed to be rainy and windy. I don't know really who. I guess that would favor the Eagles because the Bucks are the down the field pass. Well, they claim to be down the field. They're the kind of team that's going to throw it 50 to 70 fucking times, and the Eagles are going to try to run it 50 times. So I would say it favors the Eagles, but I think the Bucks win that one pretty easily. I mean, I'm cheering for the Eagles, don't get me wrong, but if I was betting, I would take the Bucks to cover. I think it was 8.5. Let's be real. The Eagles are the best rushing team because they played the worst teams. I don't think the Eagles are very good. They don't belong in the playoffs, but because we have 7 teams now, they made it. They got to beat up on Washington, the Giants, and the Jets to get here. But they're tough. They can run. Any team that can run like that and stays that committed to running is tough. So, give me the Bengals. Give me the Bills, but that's a tough one. Give me the Bengals, give me the Bills, the Bucks, the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Rams. And already I have to get up and let the stupid fucking cat in the damn window. Yes, Ozzy, it's fucking cold because it's going to snow. And I'm not going to be able to leave the house for a couple days, but that's fine by me. So, let's run through that again. Bengals, Bills, Bucks, 49ers, Chiefs, and Rams. Man, I want the 49ers and Eagles to win more than anything. But I'd be bullshitting myself if I thought the Eagles had any chance tomorrow. But who knows? It's why you play the games. Nobody thought the Jags were going to beat the Colts. So maybe the Eagles can beat the Bucks, even though the Eagles are not very good. Maybe the Bucks are wounded enough with all the injuries and shit they've dealt with lately to be vulnerable for the Eagles to pounce. It's time for the playoffs. This is my favorite shit to watch every year. Favorite thing to watch every year. It's only 32 in Cincinnati, so the weather's not bad there. It's clear and 32. And do we need to talk about the last time a playoff game was played in this building? Because it was that Steelers-Bengals game that did not end well. The Bengals have not won a playoff game since January of 1992. Andreas, what happened yesterday? You get a PS5. The Raiders have not won a playoff game since January of 2003. So we're going to see a pretty long streak broken today. And if it's the Bengals, it's not every day a 30-year streak gets broken.
It would be another step closer to where we want to be. Super Bowl champs. And head coach Zach Taylor told us the narrative outside the building is that the fans feel the pressure, not the guys in that locker room. We embrace the history of the franchise, but this team has a lot of confidence. And he added, this Bengals team, there is a different feel in me.
Andreas, you got a PS5?
Special group, Mike.
Both sides have that feel.
Wow.
Special, but this city is so behind.
How'd you get it?
To a generation
Welcome to the club.
long negative playoff run. And the running back of the last playoff winner in Cincinnati, Key Woods, here to fire up the fans. He's still got one
He can't do the shuffle.
left in him. First
He's going to tear his ACL doing that.
for the two guys going head-to-head today. 38-year-old Zach Taylor on the
Rich Bisaccia. Should he be hired as the Raiders head coach? I tell you, if they win a playoff game or two, absolutely.
7-5 to get the Raiders to the playoffs. Bengals
Zach Taylor, the most generic, creative head coach of all time. You couldn't pick him out of a lineup. I barely remember what he looks like until they show him on screen. Looks like the Raiders are going to get the ball first to start the playoffs.
longest year in NFL history. But here we are at the games that matter most. 14 teams alive, 13 games ahead. One team gets its hands on the Lombardi Trophy. Off we go.
Here goes the playoffs. Raiders will start at the 25.
And the Raiders will take over at the 25-yard line.
How many people were in line? They had to be packed.
People around
And how early did you get there to get one?
Get a buck 32 against the Chargers on Sunday night. Hunter Renfrow, 103 receivers, great slot receiver. Darren
Bengals are really good against the run.
victory.
Josh Jacobs is not 100%.
The best. Right side
I think Derek Carr's got to let it fly today to win this game
today.
and let his defensive line do the work on Joe Burrow on the other side.
Drive starts at the 20.
They're going to run it with Jacobs.
Run Jacob.
Gain of 5.
Gain about 4. Jermaine Pratt, the linebacker.
So I got 11 if I get it all right. Well, that's cool.
8th year with the Raiders.
I'll never get it right. The games I'm most shaky about are the Bills-Patriots game and the 49ers and Cowboys. The other games I'm very confident in my picks. But 2 out of the 6 I'm not that confident.
Very good. This year was 5th in the NFL.
Raiders got a 5-yard run on the first play. Come out and run it again. They will. To the left side.
Jacobs to the left side.
Gain of 3, third down.
3rd and 2 against that Cincinnati defense that's
Little
been
zone
in the
run.
NFL this year. 17th in points allowed. They've been a stud on the edge. Trey Hendrickson, 15 sacks, 4th in the league.
DJ Reader and Trey Hendrickson are really good.
Signal call
Everybody, this Bengals roster on the defensive side is not that impressive. It's not that impressive on paper. But here they are in the playoffs. Carr, good protection, lobs it over the middle. Zay Jones wide open to the 50. First down, Raiders. Hey, Robert. Welcome to the postseason. Just no pressure on Carr. Raiders O-line's really good. Bengals aren't that good in the secondary. Raiders are at midfield. No pressure on Carr again. He finds Hunter Renfrow for 5.
Advertised Mike Hilton, the nickel corner, slot corner. Going to see a lot of number 13 in silver and black today. That's really the key for this Raiders offense.
Yeah, they had bundles for pro member. That's cool.
Try to shorten the game in that way. Also just continue to dent the defense.
Thank you for the $2, Michael. I made a lot of money this week sitting on my ass watching TV on my phone in an office. Still don't feel like fucking going, so I'm glad it's snowing. Run it with Jacobs again. Finds a hole for about a gain of 2. It'll be another 3rd and short for the Raiders. Dylan's not here today. He had some work to go do before the snow gets bad, and he won't be here tomorrow because you won't be able to. If you're around here, you're probably not going to be able to get out of your driveway in most places around here tomorrow. Hopefully the power stays on. We had to talk about this. If the power goes off, I can't stream, but I'll watch the games on my phone. Hopefully the power won't go off tomorrow. I'm not worried about it going off tonight, but tomorrow evening could be a problem. 3rd and 2 again. Carr sees something. 5 seconds on the play clock. This is the loudest I've heard Cincinnati in years. They just get the snap away. Good protection. There's no pressure. Waller wide open. Breaks a tackle to the 35. Bengals are getting killed here with no pass rush. And guys getting wide open in these zones on 3rd down. Waller almost dropped it, though. I don't expect this game to be as one-sided as the game they played earlier this year. I think the Bengals beat them 32-13 last time. Play action. Still no pressure on Carr. He just checks it down to Jacobs, who gets a gain of 9. Raiders offense is really moving now. Good rhythm. Good to see Derek Carr in the playoffs like he deserves, like he should have been in 2016 before he broke his leg. Or got his leg broken.
Gets the ball very quickly to his back. Give him a chance to go and get good yardage.
False start on Waller, but they don't call. And now they throw the flag. Waller went early. Back him up to a 2nd and 6. Settle down, Waller.
You can hear how loud it is on the field when they open up the mic of Jerome Boger working his 7th playoff game, veteran referee. Yeah, watch Waller here. He's off the ball. You know, it's always hard for tight ends. You're the furthest guy away from the quarterback. So really hard to hear in a lot of cases. You're just feeling the tackle move before you move. But it's loud here in Cincinnati.
First little break for the Bengals defense there. The Raiders are going to go with a run with Jacobs and set up a 3rd and 4. Another 3rd down. How many 4th and 10s did the Chargers convert? Like 5 or 6. Derek Carr is not over. Derek Carr is underrated. Okay, I've watched this guy. Derek Carr is underrated. He is not appreciated or talked about enough for being as good as he is.
They like to put 5 defensive linemen covering every offensive lineman in order to stop that run. They did a nice job there. Get him to 3rd and 3.
He just wasn't a high draft pick, so people don't want to give him credit.
Deshaun Jackson bottom of your screen. Here's this matchup with Renfro.
If it wasn't for Carr, the Raiders wouldn't be in this game. Now they've got Carr rolling out of the pocket. He's going to low. Wow, what an ugly throw, and it's batted away.
Terrific job closing by Mike
Hilton jumped in front of Hunter Renfro, knocked it down. Kicked the field goal. It's early in a playoff game. You kick the field goal. So the false start penalty did kind of end this drive. They were on a 2nd and 1. They go to a 2nd and 6, end up on a 3rd and 4. Pressure gets Carr out of the pocket. And throwing on the run, the ball was a little late getting there, and Hilton made a play on it.
This could be a matchup all day long. Excellent kickers both sides. Daniel Carlson from 47. A.J. Cole, the punter, holds.
Andreas, you would kill to have Derek Carr. If the Eagles had Derek Carr, you guys would have actually had a chance to win that division. 3-0 Raiders. Anticlimactic end to a promising opening drive. 3-0. Of course, honestly, other than Derek Carr, I'd say the Eagles would need a receiver. If you got Derek Carr and a receiver, you guys would actually probably win your division. I heard that Dan Quinn's going to be the head coach of the Broncos, and I'm like, really? Like, you saw how he couldn't manage to keep his job with Matt Ryan. What's he going to do in Denver with no quarterback? But to Dan Quinn's credit, he is the reason the Cowboys are as good as they are. It's certainly not Mike McCarthy. It's Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is the reason the Cowboys got a lot better this year. And that is a fact. I give all the credit of the Cowboys to Dan Quinn. Because he just gets to concentrate on the defense. But sure, Denver, go ahead and hire him. I'm sure it'll work out great. I like how Denver's like, we already have a good defense. Let's get a defensive-minded head coach and just continue to neglect our offense. I wonder why we're not going to make the playoffs anytime soon. You do you, Denver. Kick some more field goals down by 7 with like 4 minutes left. When you have nothing to play for. Go right ahead, Denver. It'll be fun. Teddy Bridgewater was more hyped up than Derek Carr in that draft class. Derek Carr was, I can't remember what round he was taken in. Yeah, it's tough. Never bet on your own team. Bowles definitely deserves another chance to be a head coach because the Jets are a fucking clusterfuck. He was never going to succeed there. Zodiac Zach, hi. Welcome. We're watching the playoffs. Raiders are up 3-0 after the opening drive field goal. Now I get to have some fun and watch this Bengals offense. Question is, can they hold up in protection? Bengals O-line, especially on the right side, is shit, and the Raiders get after your ass. The Raiders secondary is not that good, but that pass rush is something else. And that pass rush has come through in the clutch a lot of times this year for the Raiders.
Sunday night makes one to open the postseason, and now he kicks off to Chris Evans, rookie out of Michigan. Not a lot of kickoff return experience, picks it up to the 10. And on
the Bengals will start around the 24. How you doing, Zach?
Their star quarterback, Joe Burrow, of course, all the focus on Jamar Chase, but don't forget Joe Mixon, who had a sensational year, 3rd in the league in yards.
T. Higgins is actually ranked higher than Jamar Chase in the Pro Football Focus rankings, which is surprising. So if T. Higgins is your number 2 option, you're doing pretty good. Empty backfield to start. It's a screen. I bet it's a screen. I bet it's a screen. Nope, he's going to throw downfield. And it's dropped by Chase. It was only going to be about a 5-yard gain at most. Yeah, they just came out throwing it downfield. I was like, here comes a bubble screen or something to start the game. But
Southwest Ohio. Went to Ohio State,
Highest completion percentage in the NFL, Joe Burrow. And he threw the ball a lot.
Led the league in completion percentage at 70%, among his record-setting numbers this year. Mixon in the slot, empty backfield.
Burrow under pressure, has to roll to his right, finds Chase for the first down. Nice throw, nice catch, gain of 11.
Opens his account with a first down.
Well, I love the aggressiveness. The Bengals are coming out with 2 consecutive snaps of empty.
Yeah, Drew Brees is right. They lined up 5 wide empty on the first 2 plays of the game. Usually a team comes out, a little run, maybe a little wide receiver screen. Nah, fuck it, spread them out and just go right at them right away. You got to test to see if your offensive line's going to hold up, I guess. Now Burrow's under center.
Which in many cases is where Jamar Chase is lining up.
And they're going to run with Mixon for a gain of 4.
Inside for about 3 yards. Let's check this Las Vegas defense. They were in the bottom half of points allowed in the league for the 19th consecutive year. That's a record. They do give up points.
19 straight years of the Raiders playing bad defense. Welcome to the stream for anyone who just got here.
You've got a couple of rookies, some inexperienced players. A lot of guys picked up. Matter of fact, most of these quarterbacks were not Raiders last year. But Crosby's pass rush makes it easier to not have a star in the secondary.
Play action, good protection. Chase first down to the Raider 45, wide open.
Second toe down, and a first down in Raider territory at the 44. Gain of 17.
I'm doing great. Happy to be off work. Happy it's about to snow. Happy I'm going to be out of work for a few days because of the snow. Happy to be watching the playoffs. I'll be happy to be watching some racing in a couple of weeks.
Those big chunk yardage plays for the Bengals, really a key to this offense.
I like that term. Receiver steps on the DB's toes.
You get them thinking you can run a lot of different routes.
Toss to Mixon. Good blocks. Gets him about 4.
Denzel Perryman holding on until Divine Diablo and Trayvon Merritt got over there for the Raiders. Joe Mixon, 3rd in yards, 3rd in attempts, 16.
Andreas, what did you want to play?
For 4th in the league. He'll go to the Pro Bowl.
Red Dead, Friday the 13th, GTA.
The game with the Raiders and the Bengals in Week 11, he had a huge game in that one, 123 yards. The Raiders took away the passing attack, and they had to turn to Mixon, and they got the job done in the desert.
And with 30 carries, they really rode his back in that game.
Second and 6, Burrow to Chase.
Wide open again, Jamar Chase, gain of 8, first down.
College teammates in 2019.
And the Bengals O-line so far doing a good job.
This year as the number 5 pick, and he and the number 1 pick from the year before are dialed in.
Yeah, trust and confidence with this route. He's throwing it before Jamar Chase gets out of that break. And Jamar Chase is so strong and physical. In fact,
So far, it's all Chase and a little bit of Mixon. But Jamar Chase is beating the fuck out of this guy that he's stuck with out here. Play action. Burrow's going to throw again. This time it's a screen. Mixon gets through to the second level. He's down at the 10. First and goal, Cincinnati.
Yeah, with every good offense, you got to work in a good screen game. This time to Joe Mixon. Also, when you have a really good pass rush team, great way to slow them down, invite them upfield, get your blockers down the field.
You know, the best thing about watching this game is I don't have to worry about fantasy football anymore. I made it to the championship game and I lost. First and goal at the 10. And it's dropped by T. Higgins, who would have been about a yard short. He really had to concentrate there to try to get his feet in. So
So you're in the red zone against the Raiders, and you better think you're going to score a touchdown, because the Raiders had a historically bad red zone defense this year. 43 times in, 35 touchdowns allowed. Not only this year, but for the last 30 years. So red zone defense for the Raiders, essential if they want to pull a road upset here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, a lot of it's been zone defense. They've given up a lot of passing touchdowns out here. 20 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Toss to Mixon to the right side. Down to the 7. Third and goal. A little ways to go.
Yeah, watch Max Crosby. You want to know another way to slow down defensive ends? You crack block them. This is the second outside crack play.
Big moment here. Third and goal.
You got to send a message very early that Max Crosby, we're not just going to let you speed rush upfield and run all these counter moves on our tackles because we know we'll be in for a long day. So you find ways to chip him, nudge him, crack him, let him know it's going to be a long day.
Zach Taylor switched running back. Samaje Perine in. Third and goal for Burrow.
Burrow rifles it. Touchdown.
Burrow with the quick strike.
Uzama.
Gives you a Nicky shuffle as the Bengals take the lead.
Boy, Joe Burrow didn't miss a fucking thing on this drive.
Watch his feet, how quick he gets this ball out. But he's looking at this window right here.
Woo!
Tight window.
That's an NFL throw.
They are at a premium. The ability to get
I know some people question his arm strength, but that's an NFL throw.
That's why you have a guy like Joe Burrow.
Touchdown,
Weapons on the
Bengals.
outside. Tight window throws down here. Great throw.
Rookie Evan McPherson off for the extra point.
Advantage Bengals 7-3. Hold the Raiders to a field goal and go right down the field and score a touchdown.
Opening drive, he came out like it was week 1. Burrow dialed in 5 of 7 on the drive. Finds his tight ends.
It's going to be a long day if the Raiders can't cover any better than that because they're not getting any pressure. Let's take a peek out the window. Not doing anything right now. But it's coming. It's Jerry Rice DraftKings commercials, kind of funny. Oh, Zach Taylor went to Norman High. Well, you know, maybe if I was more invested in college football, I wouldn't be stuck being a Falcons fan because I'd just kind of cheer for certain players on certain teams in certain moments and have way more fun than being stuck as a Falcons fan. I played NASCAR Thunder 2003 today, and I got fucking robbed. I was in the Daytona 500, and I won the dual race. I qualified like 23rd, but I won my dual race, so I started 3rd. And in the 500, I pushed Jeff Gordon about 5 seconds ahead of everybody, and then it was time to pit, and I pitted. Flawless pit road entry, 18-second pit stop because the crew guy dropped the fucking lug, and I'd pushed Jeff Gordon so far out front that he was out front with no draft help. I was in front of the pack with no draft help, and I was like, you know what, fuck this fucking game. This is what I get for trying to play a NASCAR game for the first time in months, trying to have a little fun. And the game just said, nah. So next time I play, I'll just take 2 tires instead of trying to stay on 4 because the car was starting to get a little weird on old tires. I was driving Dale Jr.'s Oreo car, by the way. It's an unlockable car in NASCAR Thunder. Welcome back. Hey, DFS. 7-3 home team right now. Yeah, the Eagles were 2-6. They wind up going 9-8 because they got to beat up on some really bad teams. Their best win was the Saints, and the Saints didn't have a quarterback. So I don't think the Eagles beat a single team even worth mentioning. But they're in the playoffs because 7 teams from the NFC make it now.
The workplace comedy American Auto from the creators of Superstar. That's American Auto Tuesday on NBC. And the next day on Peacock. I gave that on in the house earlier this week, preparing for the game. Some good laughs. Check it out on Tuesday night. Look over from Kentucky, over the bridge, over the Ohio River, to the Cincinnati fans who have just so excited for this game. This city was buzzing all week on the secondary market. This was the toughest
Bengals are fun to watch.
as of this morning of the 6 wildcard playoff games. Tailgating started early, and the party may go late into the night if the Bengals get that 3-decade-long playoff drought to come to an end. Fearsome the kickoff.
It's remarkable that the Bengals, within 2 years of Joe Burrow, have turned around. They're on the right path. I can't say they're completely turned around yet. They still got a lot of holes, but you put up points like this.
Raiders are facing. This is the defense that, the offense steals the headlines. What do you think of the group that
Yeah, Saints defense is really good, but when you're stuck in a quarterback situation like they were, you're not going to beat anybody if you're the Saints. Glad the 49ers made the playoffs instead of the Saints, I'll tell you that. Carr on play action all day. Zay Jones wide open, gain of 14.
His second grab, a 13-yarder, and a first down to the 38.
This is a nice job by Zay Jones.
Had a feeling if you wanted to see offense, this would be the game for you. Yes, the first time the Bengals have made the playoffs since the 2015 season, and they have not won a playoff game since the end of the 1991 season, I think.
Precision passing game of this West Coast offense if the Raiders execute behind offensive coordinator Greg Olsen.
They went one and done a lot when Marvin Lewis was the head coach. Won some division titles. Carr protected again. Nobody open that time. So Carr protected, but hey, nobody was open.
Nothing to do. Talking about this defense and the free agents that were signed to bring in to change the culture here. Look at this. It's Hendrickson, Ogunjobi from Cleveland, Woozy from Dallas, Hilton from Pittsburgh.
Boy, Cincinnati just looks like a shit place to live from this aerial view. Cincinnati does not look that impressive. Mariota, the quarterback now. First time today we've seen that. Carr not even in the lineup. Is that a false start? Yep, false start. Second false start of the day, and the last one killed a drive.
Started a bunch of games, but to come in with this noise and communicate in silent with this team.
Obviously they're on the road, so it's going to be silent and gun, and that's typically when Mariota's in, it's exclusively gun, and it's all the read option stuff.
I am definitely cheering for the Eagles tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I am cheering for the Eagles tomorrow. But on that front, I feel like I'm fighting a losing war. It's a screen to Hunter Renfrow. Gain of 6. Third and about 9.
Yeah, that was good for them to get into a third, more manageable situation. But here we are, 2 drives in a row. They had a false start by Waller on the first drive. That ended up ending that drive. And that might be what happens again here. These are things that need to get cleaned up by the Raiders.
Hear the weather alert beeping at the top of my screen. Yes, we know it's going to snow. Bengals bring a blitz, and Carr gets stripped. The ball's out. The Bengals have it, and they take it down to the 15. Oh, boy. First big turnover of the game. Bengals are in the red zone. Athletic director at your school's an NFL rep? Wow, what's his name? They blitzed. They didn't get there, but Carr just kept waiting for someone to come open, and Hendrickson came in. Carr never saw it coming.
Especially on third down, is going to speed rush, generate power, hit you with counter moves. He's got a ton of variety. But, man, when you need a big play, he came up with it for the Bengals right
That's
there.
huge.
Because of the pressure shown by the Bengals?
Yeah, you keep a tight end.
The Bengals are a real streaky team. When they get on a hot streak, they roll. The Raiders have just been getting by the skin of their teeth all season. The Bengals have punished people when they get hot. Mixon for about 5. Joe Burrow having his first Tom Brady experience by being set up on a really short field.
We talk about playoff football, too.
All I can say about the Eagles is I hope they're the ones that take advantage of the bad weather in Tampa Bay tomorrow. Go Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm all in. Fake the reverse, toss it to Mixon. Crosby brings him down, third down. Crosby came all the way from the other side where the fake was going.
Yeah, sometimes you say, hey, we're just going to run away from the best player. Well, when the guy's got a motor like this, that relentless pursuit, you say, yeah, you may run away from me, but I'm just going to go ahead and run it down.
I'm glad you said relentless. He played 82 of the 93 plays against the Chargers on Sunday night. And remember, that was the last game. This is the first game. Travel, short week. He's still going.
3rd and 3. A false start. Going to make it 3rd and 8. Raiders catch a break here. The entire offensive line but the center moved. So I think this is going to be false start everyone but the center. Wow, they singled out 77. Looked like the whole line moved.
It's unfair to give that to Adeniji. The center was still holding the ball at the end. The rest of the line moved. In any case now, Drew, you have this great opportunity to take over on the fumble at the 15. It's one of those, you got to feel on the sideline, we got to get a touchdown out of this down here.
Absolutely. Especially when you grab that momentum like that and, here you are just having a penalty, put you in a 3rd and long, but you have to love the matchups that you have in this game and the trust you, the confidence you have.
3rd and 8 from the Raider 12, or the 13 actually. Burrow wanted to let it fly quick. Nobody there yet. Still rolling. Throws it away. Has to throw it away. So the Raiders hold the Bengals to a field goal off the turnover.
Get out of here with just 3. That is very big in terms of momentum.
Yeah, certainly with the field position that you gave them, that was a really nice job by the defense to get the stop.
We'll bring on Evan McPherson. We'll talk about good kickers both ways.
That was a big break for the Raiders.
5th round pick out of Florida.
Be even bigger if McPherson was to miss this field goal. I'm just saying.
And Darren Simmons, the special teams coach, told me this week he had exceptional talent in terms of his leg when he saw him down in his pro day in Florida.
The kick is good. It's 10-3 Bengals.
From 31 yards.
Late in the first quarter.
Turns into 3. Cincinnati 10, Las Vegas 3 after the car turnover forced by Hendrickson.
Bengals had a chance there to put them away, really. Well, not put them away, but it's, like I said, there's been a pattern with the Bengals. They get up on somebody, they bury them.
In the studios,
oh, you want to hear the weather alert?
You're not missing a second of it. I want to give you an update on the winter storm heading our way. It's setting up back toward the west. We are cold enough here at home that when this thing starts, it's going to crank out snow.
It's coming.
And eventually ice for the entire area here. We're concerned about the ice big time across the upstate. Those totals.
They're talking about upstate South Carolina. North Carolina, it's pretty much all snow.
It's already snowing in some locations, just not cold enough quite yet to allow for accumulations to start causing problems. That happens 9 o'clock and beyond. Let me show you what happens here on the latest computer model, the latest moisture.
It's going to start snowing overnight.
We'll see that snow become more widespread. Then ice takes over. So think some snow and sleet providing a little base here. Less the farther south you go of I-85, but then transitioning over to several hours of freezing rain. The ice, the big problem here, because during this time frame in the morning hours tomorrow, the wind speeds will be between 30 and 40
It's going to be windy. That sucks.
Gusting
I'm really worried I'm going to lose power
tomorrow
tomorrow and not be able to stream.
The snow tries to take back over on the backside of this Sunday afternoon into the evening hours. It'll be scattered and not as heavy, but good enough for some light accumulation. Again, the ice, my big concern here along the I-85 corridor with...
Yeah. 12 or more inches of snow. I just hope the ice doesn't take our fucking power. That wind is going to be a motherfucker. I know about the Eagles' history, but the Eagles' history in bad weather games has nothing to do with the current team. But I think the weather's going to favor them, if anyone, tomorrow. Is Tampa going to have Fournette tomorrow? Is Fournette going to be healthy tomorrow? I haven't been looking. And the kick goes out of bounds. Oh, no. Oh, wow, what a mistake. He tried to touch the ball while he was out of bounds, but he ended up just taking the ball and then going out of bounds, so the Raiders have to start at their own 3. Oh, my Lord. You've got to put your foot out of bounds. Hell, I think the ball was just going to go out of bounds. Just let it bounce. You got to put your foot out first and then touch the ball, you idiot. And the Bucs won't have Fournette. That's good. So the Raiders start at the 3 instead of starting at the 40. Actually, got it marked at the 2. Jesus Christ. Just fucking horrible mistake. That would never happen to Tom Brady's team. Oh, Jacobs barely got out of the end zone. He had to dodge a couple of guys to get 2 yards. Not oh. Oh, the Raiders are in a bad spot here.
Yeah, but Drew, you said it. A couple of penalties, the turnover, that play, playoff mistakes.
And self-inflicted wounds. You know, there's penalties that are going to happen within the course of play that are inevitable, but not ones that you can...
Raiders are so used to overcoming adversity, they're deciding to do it to themselves. So it'll be really dramatic. And back them up again. Half the distance. I'll be back at the 2 on a 2nd and 10. Yeah, I saw they got Shaq Barrett back. He was on the COVID list, but he's cleared protocol.
Earlier this week in his weekly press conference, Zach Taylor said he implored the fans, we need the jungle to be loud. Fans have waited a long time, 2015 last home playoff game. We need you. It's a difference, and it's making a difference so far.
Yeah, listen, it's tough to go vocal cadence under center when you're tucked down in an opposing team's end zone area because you got all those fans.
2nd and 10, last 20 seconds. Could be the last play of the quarter. Carter's going to drop back. He finds Waller for a gain of 6. That'll end the first quarter.
You know, it's funny, it's counterintuitive, but you almost say, hey, I'd rather just get in gun. Everybody knows the rhythm of the silent count as opposed to trying to go vocally under center.
10-3, Bengals after the first quarter.
Get them into a third management.
Third down coming up as we begin the second quarter. After 1 in Cincinnati, Bengals 10, Raiders 3. The AFC wildcard playoff continues from Ohio after these messages.
So I've been thinking tomorrow if my power goes out. I've got my computer. My computer's always plugged up, so when the power goes out, my computer will be charged. I can use that to charge my phone and get through the day of listening or watching the games tomorrow. So I got that going for me. Have to buy some new data because I burned through all my data at the office this week watching TV. So, yippee. Standing up, stretching my legs during the commercial. Why not just get unlimited data because I'm cheap and don't want to fucking pay the extra $20 or whatever? Because I already pay like $30 a month for the data I get on my plan. To get unlimited, I have to pay like 40 or 50 fucking bucks a month, so I don't want to do that. But if I need data tomorrow, I will buy more data. Welcome back to Cincinnati.
To begin our aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. Mike Tirico, Drew Brees, Catherine Tappan with you from Cincinnati as the playoffs begin.
Raiders on a 3rd and 4 at their own 8 after a horrible blunder. See if they can get out of this. Bengals bring pressure, and Carr goes down. They're going to call him down at the 1. He got pulled back at the 1, so it's not a safety. Raiders got a punt from their own end zone.
Nice job. Sam Hubbard actually goes off the ball and lines up in a linebacker position. They ran the
Which chat?
allowed him to stud.
Which chat did I need to see?
The center gets picked here as he's trying to come around to Hubbard. Really nice blitz design by that Bengals.
Oh, Raiders.
Because they had Hunter Renfrow open.
KJ Cole backed up.
Good punt. But the Bengals are still going to get the ball across midfield. Another short field for the Bengals. The Tom Brady special. Nah, it's not a safety because he started going down. He started losing progress at the 1, so it's not a safety. He got tackled at the 1 and carried back into the end zone. So it's not a safety. All right, well, we'll be here if you want to come back and hang out later. I'm going to be here for this game and the Bills game. They're really inconsistent about how they call guys dead after a sack or whatever. Have you guys been watching Peacemaker on HBO Max? It's really funny. Got me through work. At work every day, I sit at a desk and do nothing. The hardest part about that job is how my legs and ass hurt in that chair. But right now it's a free paycheck, so I will take it. Hello, Michael. Welcome back. Not a lot going right for the Raiders right now, but they're still only down by 7.
Turnover and then backed up to their own ones. That means back-to-back Joe Burrow drives start in Raiders territory. This one at the 45.
Well, the first thing I notice here is that Max Crosby's not in the game. So I'm thinking as a play caller, you know what, their best pass rushers out. This is our time to take a shot.
Ends with a run.
Mixon for a gain of 5.
Joe takes it to the 40-yard line. Is Crosby. Carl Nassib was in on that tackle as Crosby gets a break for the moment.
You know, Nassib is really their run-stopping defensive end. Obviously comes in to spell Crosby, but Crosby rarely comes out of the game. He's such an every-down player. But really, as a play caller, look, these are the moments where you start thinking, all right, while their best pass rushers out, let's take advantage of that.
It's an end around with Jamar Chase. God, he's big. First down, gain of 7.
As the Bengals have picked up 6 first downs in here this evening.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, he reminds me so much with the ball in his hands of Deebo Samuel. And these are all the things that you see San Francisco do with Deebo Samuel. They're almost built like their lower body like running backs. And you see what they do when they have the ball in their hands, yards after the catch. In fact, those two guys were tops in the league.
It's an interesting comparison. Samuel's so much thicker up top that you don't think of that right away, but we talked about it earlier. That strength, that core body strength that he has. There's down Burrow, out quick to
Screen to Mixon, nowhere to go. Good play by the Raiders.
Covered by Las Vegas, a loss of 2. Desmond Trufant, the veteran corner, a lot of time in Atlanta, Detroit, makes the play there.
Yeah, it's one of those things with Jamar Chase that you don't see just from watching him on TV, but he's got a lower half that's built like a running back. In fact, some of the coaches from LSU said that had he wanted to play running back at LSU, he would have been the best running back. It says a lot based on what his production was at the wide receiver position, but it also shows the flexibility you can have with a guy like that on offense.
Second and 11.
Second and 11.
Burrow just going to fling it to Chase. Trufant fell down. First and goal. Chase stopped and came back, and Trufant just went flying.
First and goal, Raiders.
First and goal for the Bengals again.
29.
Yeah, it's safe to say anytime you
Watch this comeback.
Jamar Chase, you're going to take advantage of that.
Whoop!
Veteran Trufant running with him.
Trufant got lost.
Such a great rapport and chemistry between those two.
Well, the Bengals are really going to their money makers. They're just going with what works.
He's underneath him. Hey, I'm going to throw this firm back shoulder. Jamar Chase knows it's coming, able to make the adjustment.
Usually the 9-year vet gets the call against the rookie. There it's the other way. Tough call
First and
against
goal
the
at the 6.
First and goal from the 6.
Good protection. Nobody open, though. Burrow's rolling to his right.
Throws end zone.
Throws to the end zone. Mixon's begging for a flag. He had Mixon in the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
Nothing happened. It was Roger Teamer in coverage. A good pressure by Crosby back in the game for the Raiders.
Yeah, it was a 3-man rush by the Raiders this time. You see them doing this more over these last couple games where, they've been very bad in the red zone. So you think, how can we help this red zone defense? Let's drop another man in coverage, take away some of those underneath throws. Did a nice job of covering up all the routes, forced him to throw away.
Coach Gus Bradley, you see the numbers with pressure rate for this team. They don't usually bring it.
Really surprised at the lack of pressure they've been able to get. They run it with Mixon. I don't like this play call. Third and goal from the 4.
There, and again, they'll force big third downs. It's often said, here comes a big third down. Every play in a playoff game is big, right? But the momentum is so with Cincinnati right now. The Raiders really need to try to hold them to a field goal again.
Yeah, this is where games are won and lost in the playoffs. Your ability to get down inside the 10, inside the 5, and convert that into a touchdown versus a field goal.
Drew Brees knows a lot about losing playoff games that he absolutely should have won.
Boyd and Chase to the left. Higgins to the tight end, Uzama to the bottom. Burrow, first look.
Oh, Burrow having to make a man miss, and down he goes awkwardly on his left leg, but the Raiders finally get a sack, and they're going to hold the Bengals to a field goal again.
Worst in the league in the red zone. Back-to-back stops.
Let me see what Burrow saw here.
Nice job by this front. And good
Nobody open right away, pressure on his face. I thought he was going to get out of it, but
in a zone coverage to the
nope.
right, really took away all the routes. Nobody's open.
Taking advantage of the right side of the Bengals offensive line where they're weakest.
But that Raiders front, especially as of late,
So good for the Raiders.
keep their defensive linemen fresh.
Their
They can
defense,
keep up that
anyway.
pass rush.
30-yarder for McPherson. Perfect in this
Bengals going for a 10-point lead here. They get it, 13-3.
kick, knocks it through from 30. And the Bengals, 3 drives, 3 scores.
They should be up 21-3, but the Raiders defense is playing their guts out. I thought there would be no way that the Raiders could stay in this game if something like this happens. Their defense just can't hold up, but their defense is holding up. Hopefully they snap out of this soon. Keep the game interesting. Thought the Bengals wasted a play on that second down when they ran it with Mixon. Anybody watch the test at Daytona this week? The only parts I watched were the draft sessions because nobody wants to watch cars go out there by themselves and log laps at Daytona, so I waited till they grouped up and then I started paying attention. Dale Jr. was driving the 5 car because Kyle Larson's at the Chili Bowl.
After 5 seasons, 4 Emmy wins, TV's #1 drama, returning for one final chapter. This is Us. New Tuesdays on NBC. Get the tissues ready, right? What a great show that's been. What a great look at the sun setting here in Cincinnati, and it feels like the sun's rising on a new era of Bengals football to a lot of these fans. 38-year-old Zach Taylor in his 3rd year.
As frustrated as the Raiders are, if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm antsy. We've only got a 10-point lead with all these golden opportunities the Raiders have been giving them. And the Raiders get a big return out to the 40.
40-yard line. That is good field position at a desperately needed time. Well, the game's been up and down. So is the season for Rich Bisaccia, for the entire Raider organization. I think you know the story, but go back. They were a first-place team at the end of September. 3-0 to start, some wild finishes with Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Miami. And then changes, the turmoil, John Gruden out as coach. The average margin became 17. They were 3-7. But with fortitude coming back the last 4 here, all chips are pushed in. The Raiders cashed. They made it to the playoffs.
Ooh, nice play here. Josh Jacobs. About 15 yards on a first down.
First down run for Jacobs at 14.
I love that opening play there. You have to feed Josh Jacobs as much as you can in this game.
Got to keep Jacobs involved. They're only down by 10.
Start this game. Penalties and kill drives. Got to 3rd and longs, which has allowed the Bengals to tune up that pass rush. That is what's going to neutralize this defensive front and really help out your offensive line, your ability to run the football.
Jacobs pops another run. Oh, man, that's a race to the end zone. Look out down at the 11. I thought they were going to come behind and strip it. Raiders down to the Cincinnati 11. Come back to Jacobs again. That was a 35-yard run. I'm going to run it again on this next play.
I love this inside zone running scheme, especially as you send Hunter Renfrow in motion. Watch what that does to the defense. It forces everybody to bump. It changes their gap responsibilities, and now
that cut right there.
Safety in a linebacker position. Jesse Bates now has a guard that he's got to shed, which he's not able to. Pops open a big hole for Josh Jacobs. Those are the types of run schemes that the Raiders.
They come back to Jacobs again. Bengals more prepared that time.
10-yard line. That carry of 35 was longer than any run the Raiders had in the regular season. Their longest run came on their first run of the year. That was by Marcus Mariota, the quarterback. So the Raider run game with an explosive play really helping Greg Olsen calling plays.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, especially when you watch Josh Jacobs run. He hasn't had one longer than that, but he's the kind of guy who gets stronger as the game goes on. His yards per carry goes up, and especially as you get to the 4th quarter and all the overtime games they've played in.
2nd and 8. 5 in the pattern for
Carr hanging on to the ball too long again. Oh, almost got it in there.
for Foster Moreau.
Hilton in coverage on Moreau, but Carr almost got it in there.
And it's 3rd and goal.
It was really a nice job in coverage there by the Bengals. They actually took care of those edge rushers. who ended up getting on Carr late. Carr does a nice job of scrambling, but again, these are the third long situations you don't want to be in against this Bengal defensive front. All these third downs is when they've been able to get their pressures. Sacks, forcing Carr to scramble, and the sack fumble.
May need a timeout here. Basach is walking down, sees the Carr has it under control, doesn't take it. Third and 8.
Oh, off the hands of Deshaun Jackson. It would have been a foot race to the edge to see if Jackson could turn and cut up field, but Jackson dropped it anyway. Fourth down. Field goal to make it a one-score game again.
Nice job of protection. It's a bracket quarters coverage, meaning the safeties are low. They're doubling Renfro inside. They're doubling Waller inside. So the one-on-one matchup is exactly where Carr went to Deshaun Jackson. In a game like this, you got to make that play.
Absolutely. That's a drop in a big spot. Carlson from 28. Tough to handle.
13-6 Cincinnati. Good for the Raiders there. Deshaun Jackson was getting greedy, already trying to plant his turn up field. Well, Deshaun Jackson used to not drop those, but now he's old and washed up, so he drops those a lot now. Or he just straight up fumbles like he did against the Chiefs. Still a game, though. Still a game. Hang in there, Raiders. Josh Jacobs can pop a few more runs like that. To only be down by 7 after all that. Yeah, it's been it feels like it's been a long first half. Of course, the commercials don't help with that. Shannon Sharp 2 minutes ago. Bengals better start getting touchdowns instead of field goals. The Raiders have found something with the run game. At least they think they have. Chase Elliott just had a scary wreck in the Chili Bowl. What happened here? I'm watching a replay of it right now. Ooh, God. He hit somebody's right rear, ramped off, and then barrel rolled into the fence a couple of times, but eek. That's scary, but he's okay. That's good sports. The Bengals offense reminds me of the Chiefs, except I don't fucking hate them. Texans head coach interviews so far. Hines Ward, Joe Lombardi, and Brian Flores. I bet you Flores don't take that Houston job. Hines Ward got interviewed?
Olympics here on NBC. All the big stars. Michaela Schifrin, Nathan Chen, Chloe Kim, Shaun White, the U.S. women's hockey team, all try to win gold in Beijing. We'll have it all for you on NBC and Peacock. Cincinnati on the Saturday.
Frankie Muniz is going to try to do the ARCA race at Daytona. Frankie Muniz is going to try to do ARCA races this year. That's amazing. You go, Frankie. I want him to be at Daytona so when they get 3 wide and he's in the middle, they can truly say that Malcolm is in the middle. 3 wide and Malcolm in the middle. I can hear Mike Joy now if he did ARCA races. He wouldn't be caught dead doing an ARCA race. I wouldn't be caught dead watching one, but that's muffed kickoff. Recovers and runs it to the 18.
And there you see Joe Burrow. Well, he was raised in nearby Athens, Ohio. The small town is about a 2.5-hour drive east of Cincinnati, and it's nearly
so by WWE logic, it'd be right next door to Cincinnati.
NFL cheer for Joe. You see a lot more Bengals flags, especially in our neighborhood. Now, there are a few watch parties in Athens tonight, but Burrow's family is right here at Paul Brown Stadium, Mike.
His dad was a coach and explained some of the great cerebral qualities he has.
There's Uzama, who caught the touchdown earlier for a gain of about 5.
23-yard line. So he was Mr. Football in the state of Ohio in 2014. And then 7 years later, they named the stadium after him. Joe Burrow Stadium. Look, if you win the Heisman, nobody's going to top it. They may equal it. Nobody's going to top it. So they'll give you the stadium when you're in your 20s.
Hey, well deserved. I came up a little short. They didn't. High school didn't name it after me.
Well, you got players rolling through Austin Westlake High School in Texas there, but
That's right. It's a factor.
we can make a call or a donation, see if they'll do that for you.
Mixon, gain of 4, about a 3rd and 1 here.
3-yard gain. You know, what's interesting, we talk about Burrow and his youth at this point. He's 25 years old. He's older than Lamar Jackson and Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, those other young guys in the NFL. So, although he's only a couple of years in the league, he is a little bit older.
Yeah, but with that has come experience. You know, from his time in Ohio State, not having a chance to be the.
Don't forget, even though I think the Bengals are a much better team than the Raiders, this is a team that is still learning how to win. So I'd be nervous that they only have a 7-point lead right now. Hey, Janet.
Empty on 3rd and 1. And the throw
And there's Boyd for a first down. Don't worry, Janet. Still waiting on the snowpocalypse. Looking out my window every now and then to see if there's anything going on.
Cincinnati offense. Burrow's last 2 games out of this world. Second to Dak Prescott in NFL history for the most passing yards in back-to-back games. 525 against Baltimore.
Gotten a lot of practice at sitting on my ass this week at work.
To the secondary. And then 446 in the gotta-have-it game against Kansas City that won them the division. 8 touchdowns, no picks.
So this stream is like nothing for me.
So far here in the wild card game.
Mixon gets tackled for a loss.
There will be a loss of a yard. Damian Square, who's playing.
No injuries so far. That's good, especially at this point in the season. The temperature's dropping here, and the snowpocalypse is on the horizon, just to the south. I'm working at a Meridol. We're in training for a month, but we get paid for the training, so I watched TV the other day. Most of the time at work this week, I was watching TV at my desk on my phone. Burrow deep over the middle. Uzama to the Raider 45. Chase and Uzama all this half. $13 an hour to watch TV shows, not bad. It just gets really boring and my back and legs hurt from sitting all the time. We're just in training though, but the training pays the same.
Divine Diablo played safety at Virginia Tech, but ball skills and awareness weren't going to help you there. That was a rope over his ear for 29 to use on.
We always say no defense for a perfectly thrown pass.
Burrow's looking to go deep now. He launches to Chase, and it's batted away. Good coverage. Casey Hayward, good job. Didn't turn around to play the ball, but did not impede Chase, so it's not interference. Good call. Do I think I will like it? No, because there's too much to fucking remember. But as long as I'm just getting paid to sit there and do nothing, yeah, I'll suffer. Too much shit to remember, but we'll see. I'm not giving up or anything. Got a few more weeks of that training. 2 more weeks. We had 2 days, then we had a full week of training, now we got 2 more weeks of training. A lot of stupid shit to remember.
Chris Evans, the rookie from Michigan, is the running back here.
Chris Evans, the running back. Gain of 9, 3rd and 1. On a little draw.
Good pop by Evans, who only ran 17 times, 7 of those coming last week against Cleveland when almost all the Bengals starters rested.
Yeah, this is a read option play. Actually, Joe Burrow reading the defensive end, Max Crosby. Nice job of that left side of the offensive line, which is really the strength of this Bengal offensive line. Blowing up on a nice hole for Chris Evans.
All of a sudden, at 2nd and 10, Zach Taylor's calling 3rd and 1.
I might leave the job and then come back after tax season because we answer calls about customer support for tax software, and they say it gets busy at tax season. Oh, it's dropped by Boyd. Hobbs in coverage. 4th and 1. I say you go for this. Go for it. Go for it. You haven't taken advantage of these opportunities. You need to go for this. They got a turnover in a short field, kicked the field goal. Got the ball in Raider territory off of a punt from the end zone, field goal. 4th and a yard, fuck it, go for it.
13 of 20 on 4th down conversions. And on 4th and 1, outstanding.
Body language, it's interesting. That's a toss to Chase on 4th and 1, who gets around the corner and gets the first and a lot more. Ballsy play call for 4th and 1. But a 15-yard run comes out of it.
I love the philosophy here. So Joe Burrow starts and gun. When he goes under center, they think quarterback sneak. Watch how the D linemen tighten up, which is what allows Jamar Chase to come in motion and get outside to get the big play in the 4th down conversion.
See, I'll go for it on 4th down when it feels right, and that felt right. So good call.
He and Zach Taylor communicating on every play call. Bengals have been inside to the 8 and the 4 last 2 drives.
Oh, pressure on Burrow. Gets it to Mixon, who's wide open underneath for about 4.
About 2 is Teamer and Diablo stop him on the sideline. You gave mention of Brian Callahan, his dad Bill Callahan, a long time, reveres one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. Brian's 37. Been in the NFL for quite some time. Spent 6 years in Denver, was a quarterback coach in Detroit. And now the offensive coordinator here with Zach Taylor. We have Divine Diablo of the Raiders injured. He was one of the 2 silver and black defenders making the tackle on the edge on Mixon.
We have an injury now because I jinxed it earlier. It must have been a long first half. I'm thirsty. Yeah, so what they do at this particular job is it's for Drake software. It's like a software program people can sign up for, and it fills out your taxes for you. You just enter the info, and it fills out your taxes for you. And the calls are usually old people that don't know how to use a computer and work the software. So they said the calls are like 99% of the time super simple and last like a minute at most. And they said during tax season it gets kind of busy. And then they said for the other 9 months of the year, it's completely dead. You'll go whole days without ever getting a call. So I'm like, if I can just get through this fucking training and convince myself to stay, I'll just sit there and watch TV shows and movies all day like I did this week. The training is you come in, every now and then they'll have like a Zoom call where they're like telling you stuff. So you listen to a little 10 or 15 minute Zoom call. Then they give you these little lesson schoolwork type things to go do. And once you do all of those, you can do whatever the fuck you want. They're always like, don't leave until 5. But, do whatever you want. So I would rush through and get my work done early because I can get it done in under an hour and then sit there and watch movies all day. And then I go home at lunch and then come back because the place is so close to here. I go home at lunch just to get the fuck out of the office for a little while. And then I go back and hang out and watch more TV shows and just bullshit. And then I go home. Yesterday I got really, really sleepy in there at the end of the day. I was about to fall. They always say, you can do anything, just don't sleep. I was getting really sleepy. It was a struggle to stay awake in there yesterday. That was the first time I had problems with that. Could not fucking stay awake. So far, so good. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing, but for now it'll work. And you can always go back because there's people in my training group that are like, yeah, this is my 3rd time through the training because it's like they were like, I got towards the end of the training and then left and got another job and then come back. They rehire people all the time. So the smart play would be get through this fucking training, try to last a little bit, and then when it gets super busy, bail on them and then come back later in the year when it's dead. And get paid to do the training again because they make you go through the training again. And that shit's fucking easy.
Corey Littleton and KJ Wright have come in for the Raiders defensively on 2nd and 5.
Toss to Mixon on 2nd and 5. The Raiders are all over it. 3rd and about 4. Coming to the 2-minute warning. Are we really just going to go right back to commercial? 3rd and 4 at the 2-minute warning of the first half. Right back to fucking commercial. Exciting. Oh, Jesus. They flat out told us over and over during the like the questions and shit we have to answer and the stuff we have to do is getting more like I don't know what's the word. I want to say harder, but it's not that hard. It's just you have to do more and you got to know more and answer these stupid fucking trick questions and all this crap. And if you can't get it right, they'll literally do it for you, which is kind of funny. And they're like, don't worry, when the training's done and you're actually answering calls, it's never going to be anything like you saw in the training. And they're like, you don't even have to know how to use the fucking software. Just use Google. If somebody has a question, you don't know where to find the answer, just Google it. It'll pop up. I was like, okay. Thanks for calling. Have a nice day. And then, you just sit there. I had a friend who worked there, but she wasn't working with the tax software company. She was doing something else. But even she was like, yeah, come in and watch TV shows all day. Try to stay awake, and then go home. And they're very lenient about missing work if you need to, although I'm not planning on missing anything. But if I ever need to miss anything for something, I can. And like I said, they'd rehire me anyway. I wanted their work from home job. But they were like, you gotta have medical experience. And I was like, well, I know that's not fucking true because my friend Anna had that same work from home job. It's just COVID contact tracing bullshit. She did that from home. She don't have medical experience. But they wouldn't give me that, so I had to end up going into the fucking office. If they'd let me just sit at home and answer calls and shit, I'd be very happy. I could sit right here like I'm doing right now with the same fucking headset. And my life would be complete. Maybe when it gets busy at tax season, I go back to Ingalls for a little bit, and then when tax season comes and goes, scoot back over to Ameridial. Hey, you want to hire me again? Because I'll take close to $500 a fucking week to go sit over there and listen.
Block a defensive end with a tight end.
All right, we'll keep it cool. Back to you, Mike.
All right, guys, thank you. Keep playing.
3rd and 4.
The Bengals get good field position.
Bengals have to get some touchdowns on the board. These field goals are not going to be enough. You stick around in a close game with the Raiders, they'll bite you. They're like 6-0 this year in games of 6 points or less.
In the college game, he coached his son as well, so he's got great feel for the game. 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Bengals. Five in the pattern,
Burrow steps up through the pressure, running to his right. He's going to throw across his body. No, he's going to lob it. Oh, touchdown! Touchdown. Or did they say he stepped out of bounds first? Burrow's saying they blew it dead. Can you go back and... Oh, boy. We have a clusterfuck, ladies and gentlemen. Did Burrow's toe touch out of bounds before he threw the ball? Okay, now they rule it a touchdown to Boyd. It's going to get the Raiders hot under the collar because I heard a whistle. Burrow kept rolling to his right, rolling, and yeah, he threw that ball. That's a good throw. I was like, he's going to throw across his body, and he kind of did, but Boyd was wide open in the back of the end zone. Nah, he was in. He's good. That ball's coming out. Touchdown, Bengals.
The Bengals take a 19-6 lead. And Evan McPherson on to the extra point.
The extra point is good. 20-6. Raiders have 3 timeouts, minute 51. About that ref blowing the whistle. A ref blew a whistle. Because, hell, I mean, the Raiders were beat there anyway. Boyd was open. But it felt like everybody on the field stopped when they heard the whistle except Boyd and Burrow. It's like they were the only 2 guys still moving. That Bills game we watch later is going to be one of those games where I'm really glad I'm not at 14 below 0. 20-6 Bengals. Burrow's having a great game.
To find Boyd for the touchdown on the back line, 20-6.
Yeah, it really, the Raiders defense has played well down there in the red zone. They're doing some different things. They're dropping 8. They're mixing up the coverages. On that last one, they dropped 8. Crosby did a nice job getting pressure, but Joe Burrow.
Raiders will start at the 20, minute and 45, 3 timeouts.
20-yard line. This NBC Wildcard Playoff game is brought to you by U.S. Bank. We'll get there together.
Not if you live in North Carolina, you won't, because we're not getting anywhere for the next couple of days. Ooh, that steak looks fucking delicious. Oh, I should have bought food today. I should have ordered food. I should have rewarded myself after a hard week of watching TV in the office. I should have bought good food, but I'm cheap. I have to be there a little longer before I start spending money on food, on expensive food. All right, Carr, what can we do? Carr looks like a deer in headlights in the pocket. Brian Edwards drops a pass that hit him right in the hands.
Knowing the Bengals get the ball to start the second half, dangerous spot here because the Raiders defense has not stopped Cincinnati at all.
Really important that they can get something going here, at least get a few first downs, try to go down and get points. You have to think about Waller and Renfro in these situations. Work in the middle of the field. You're probably going to get a lot of shell coverage. That's where the
Raiders playing from behind all day. Hunter Renfro. Oh, ow, what a tough tackle. Gain of 7.
Wilson drags him down. It's third down. Spinning clock under 90 seconds. Just glad to see Renfro's okay after that.
Yeah, that looked like it could have torn an ACL.
Coming in, Zay Jones out. Raiders going to huddle.
Tomorrow for the games, I'm going to have to eat whatever's at the fucking house. I guess I should have bought food today.
Yeah, you got man coverage. You can feel the corners going to match up with their receivers.
Third down. Got to convert. There you go. Edwards wide open. Catches that one. Down to the 46. And they call him out of bounds. I thought he was tackled inbounds. 55 seconds on the clock.
Big play to keep this drive going and not give it back to Cincinnati.
Yeah, this was a nice job by the Raiders. They motion down Edwards. They actually get a pick. You see how Renfro runs up through the defender with his defender. Open up that shallow cross. Big play in man coverage on those.
There has never been a text message in the history of the world that talked about the Bengals winning a playoff game. Fun fact. Looking for Zay Jones over the middle, incomplete.
The former Cowboy cover.
Yeah, it's interesting what the Bengals have done. They're playing a lot of man coverage right now, just in various forms. They brought in one of their bigger corners, Trey Flowers, to actually match Darren Waller man-to-man. He's actually been open 2 plays in a row. Let's see if they go back to that.
Blitz from the Bengals. They got Carr on the run. Has to throw it away. 3rd and 10.
Sam Hubbard with the pressure. There was no Trey Hendrickson in on that snap, but Hubbard has had a good first half, brought the heat.
Yeah, this right side of the line has really struggled. This is just a simple game, a TE. Tackle goes upfield and comes inside. Alex Leatherwood, the right guard, really struggled this year. Wasn't able to pick that up.
And 10.
3rd and 10.
Carr taking a lot of time. Now he's going to take off and run. Carr's going to get the first down with his legs. There's a flag. Never mind. There's a flag. Carr ran for a first down.
Flag down in the secondary, and it's going to be a hold on the Bengals.
Oh, wow. So Carr will get the first down, and the clock will stop at 37 seconds, and the Raiders still have 3 timeouts. Big play for the Raiders there. Good job, Carr. Faster than he looks. And Hunter Renfro's the one who drew the holding flag. How do you hold Renfro? I mean, how do you cover him? You hold him.
Mike Hilton has a tough job today. He's got to run all over the field with him, fight through picks in order to get it. Just hooked his hip there.
So 37 seconds left. Raiders been able to get down here and preserve.
They're at the Cincinnati 29.
Open for Carr. Again, huge drive for the Raiders. With the Bengals getting the ball to start the second half.
Throws it short to Jalen Richard. Gain of 5. Timeout with 30 seconds.
Will take the first of the 3 timeouts. 31 to go. Second and a long 5 coming up for Derek Carr and the Raiders.
And we're going to go to commercial with 30 seconds on the clock. Okay. You know, another thing that's funny about work, they tell you during the orientation, which we also got paid for, they're like, never be on your phone at your desk. Don't be on your phone. There's tax info on the screen. Blah, blah, don't be on your phone. You get in there and your supervisors or team leaders or whatever, like, yeah, we don't care. You can be on your phone. They're like, don't be holding your phone up in front of your computer, but if you want to have your phone out on your desk, go ahead. So, headphones are a no-no, but they can't see mine because I have long hair. Actually, I was sitting there talking to the guy, Brandon, who Dylan, my friend Dylan, who always watches football with me. Brandon is one of his best friends, and I didn't know him really. And we were in there the other day, and he's one of the trainers. And I sat there talking to him with headphones hanging out of my ear, and he didn't say shit. After I heard him complain to somebody early in the day, like, come on, they say you can't be on your headphones. So, it's all good. Honestly, even if I couldn't have headphones, I'd be watching TV with the fucking subtitles on. I would turn closed captioning on and still have my phone laying there in front of me watching something.
Second and 6 coming here for the Raiders at the 25 of the Bengals. We'll go back to the last touchdown. We were talking about this in the break. I stopped calling the play. We all stopped. The Raiders stopped. I want you to listen to
Yeah, listen. They're talking about the Bengals touchdown. There's a whistle.
Right there it comes. I don't know if it made a difference in the play, but it was certainly an erroneous whistle.
Erroneous, that's a good word.
Cleaned up, by the way, on that play?
No, replay. That is not a reviewable play. Once they've ruled him out of bounds, it's over. They also can't fix the erroneous whistle. What they should have done, because it was an erroneous whistle, was actually replay the down because it was a loose ball in flight.
That's why there was so much conversation.
Right. They can't have a touchdown on that play by rule.
So the refs kind of cheated and gave the Bengals a touchdown because they would have gotten the call wrong if they didn't. I wondered about that too. As soon as I heard the whistle, I said, uh-oh, there's no way this will count. And then they said, touchdown. The whistle was blown while the ball was in the air, so they just went ahead and said, touchdown. The rule is if the ball is in the air and there's a bad whistle, you just replay the down. So it shouldn't have been a play against the Bengals, but it still shouldn't have been a touchdown by rule, even though we all know it was a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Are you confused? 3rd and 6. Screen. Oh, and it's batted up and incomplete. Hendrickson. Or wait, did they say? They're going to give the Raiders the timeout? This crowd's not going to like this as they begin to boo.
27 seconds left. Let's go back to that touchdown because that will be talked about and that will be discomforting to the Raiders because it really did feel like everybody just kind of stopped for a half second.
As it was happening live, I definitely heard the whistle before the ball was caught, and so it did seem like everyone let up there for a moment.
Cue the anti-Raider conspiracy theories that have ruled the NFL for the last 60 years.
Because it does come so late, as Burrow's step comes out of bounds. Listen one more time. And that lengthy conversation continued before Booger said touchdown. And obviously that sound and
3rd down. The Raiders catch a break here. Is that a makeup call? Give the Raiders this timeout here.
Marcus Bailey's covering him. And Carr goes that way.
Waller down to the 14 and out of bounds with 23 seconds.
14-yard line, 23
They had to burn a timeout while the clock wasn't running, though, so that's unfortunate.
Earlier in this drive, they bring in Trey Flowers. It's dime. He's a big corner who they feel can match up with Darren Waller, but really nice move to the line of scrimmage by Waller. And if they're going to play more man, they got some matchup you like on this drive.
All right, Drew, what are we thinking here now with one timeout and 23 seconds left as a quarterback in the play call?
With the timeout, that gives you access to the entire offense. You can run the ball here if you want. You can throw a screen. You can throw something to the middle of the field. Really, the objective.
They're about to not get the play off again if they're not careful. They just got it away. Oh, Carr not wanting to move out of the pocket when the pressure's on. He wants to just stand in there and wait until they're in his lap.
They're at the dying second of the play clock and weren't really ready. Inexcusable at this point.
You guys do know that when the clock isn't running, the play clock still runs.
You know what you're getting defensively. They've been playing dime defense. That was a snap and nickel.
How much passing yards does Tom Brady have in his career? I don't know, a lot.
Two linebackers. But again, you have the full access within the offense. Trying to get the ball in the middle of the field.
Carr to the end zone. Touchdown.
Who comes down with it for a touchdown?
Zay Jones. Wow, that was big time. Told you Derek Carr's a fucking monster. That was a great drive.
Fifth-year man with a touchdown to make it a 2012 game with 13 seconds left.
Yeah, I love the route concept here. It's going to be a double post.
Derek Carr couldn't have done any better here.
It's right on that strong safety. He's making sure that the strong safety grabs Hunter Renfrow as the inside receiver, which isolates Zay Jones. You just tell that receiver, make sure you cross the DB's face.
Eli Apple gets burnt like toast.
Really nice execution all the way
Giants
around.
fans were like, seen that before.
A great strong catch, too. Apple got his arm up.
And it's a 7-point game again. It's 20-13.
Seven-point game with
And we're going to go to commercial with 13 seconds left in the half. When we could just do the kickoff and have the Bengals take the knee and go to halftime and get on with this. No, we're going to go to commercial with 13 seconds on the clock. Thank you. This first half has almost been 2 hours. And it's mostly due to commercials. At least it was a short commercial.
And he was talking about Renfrow's great, Waller's unbelievable. But we couldn't get him to stop talking about Zay Jones. Hardest working person in the NFL, he said. We can't justify that with 1,500 players in the league. But he said every time he runs a practice route, it's full tilt all the time. What does that mean to a quarterback?
I mean, that's the biggest compliment that you can pay someone.
You can't be in a close game with the Raiders, man.
You know, he says that about Waller. He says that about Renfrow.
They're too deadly in these situations. And they're keeping it close.
Coming to work, and they're putting in that type of effort. Just says a lot about that team, especially the situation they were in this year and all that they had overcome together. But you talk also about just this West Coast offense, the precision of the passing game that is required. Everything is timing and rhythm. And when you can get those full-speed reps in practice, that translates to games.
Only other touchdown Jones caught this year in the regular season, the 31-yard. Remember the game winner that Monday night in overtime against Baltimore. Big one there. Trent Taylor has now gone back to return kickoffs after Evans dropped one earlier. We'll watch that in the second half. And this may be the only way to stop the Bengals from scoring on a drive. Give it to them with 13 seconds back at the 25.
Yeah, that was a critical drive for the Raiders.
They got 13 seconds. I'll just go to half.
offsides penalties, turnovers.
Yeah, they're going to take a knee, go to halftime.
Short field, so they needed that.
20-13 at halftime. Bengals get the ball first.
At the break here in the wild card game.
Raiders have overcome a lot already.
For the first time in 31 years. Leads Las Vegas 20-13. To Maria Taylor, Chris Sims, and the Hall of Famer Tony Dungy with the Toyota halftime.
Fuck, I'm thirsty.
All right, thanks, Mike. And we had a one-score game in Cincinnati, but that 80-yard scoring drive by the Raiders could not have come at a better time.
They needed it. They've been settling for field goals. We said you aren't going to win with field goals. Finally finished off the drive.
Yeah, that was big. Bengals showing great creativity on both sides of the ball, especially on the offense, and really taking away the pass rushers of the Raiders, which we know can be difference makers.
Yeah, the Bengals scoring on their first 4 possessions, but coming up, we'll break down Joe Burrow's performance
I'll be
in
right back.
his first
I'm
ever.
going to grab a Gatorade. It's orange, but I'm not biased to the Bengals, I promise. These little tiny bottles of Gatorade Zeros are the best thing ever. I wonder how Ozzy, my cat, is going to react to about 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. I don't think he's seen that quite that much. Please give me some background noise. The silence is killing me. And I need to go to the bathroom. Okay. Oh, wait, it's a weather report.
Hi, everyone. I'm live here in the Weather Center, keeping you up to date on this winter storm moving our way. You are not missing a bit of the game. We'll get you right back to it here in just a few minutes. But first, this winter storm is moving into the cold air that we have in place right now. Let me get to the warnings and alerts that you have across the area. This is one of those situations where the winter weather will be felt all the way across a large chunk of the Carolinas. In fact, you have advisories.
Damn, it's going to snow near Myrtle Beach.
Getting along the I-95 corridor toward Myrtle Beach. This, as we get closer, the point I want to make there is that it's not a matter of impacts versus no impacts here at home. It's a matter of will it be snow or ice, and I'm afraid ice is going to be a big part of the story here across the upstate. We've already had some flurries, some sleet pellets across even in the upstate. Some more moisture of that can be expected over the next couple of hours, but the main event does not arrive until after 9 o'clock. It's 9 p.m. to midnight that the moisture will stream our way into this cold air. It's only getting colder. These temperatures will continue to plummet. Let me map it out here here for you, hour by hour for you. In the mountains, you're going to get a big one, a big-time snowstorm. Here we are at 11 o'clock. That snow starting to fill in across the area. After midnight, it really starts to fill in. Some heavy snow across a large part of the area, but that's not the whole story. By 5, 6, 7 a.m., the pink here starts to show up, and this is sleet and freezing rain, and likely quite a bit of it. We'll see this continue to transition over, and whatever base you have...
Gotta remember to turn my computer off tonight,
will likely get a glaze of
so it'll be fully charged tomorrow in case I wake up in time for football and see the power's out. I'll have a way to charge my phone and watch the games.
Rain from basically Hendersonville south, and on top of some already impressive snow totals in the mountains, that'll make things very, very slick. Then on the backside of this, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, snow starts to transition back over. It will not be widespread and heavy, but rather scattered, but enough to give us some
But
additional
where I live, it's
snowfall
going to be
to
widespread and heavy. He's talking about South Carolina. Where I'm at in North Carolina, there's going to be a lot of snow.
The mountains, it'll be until that you start to see it move out. Again, I can't stress enough, ice, my main concern here across a large part of the upstate. Some of our models here are indicating anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to as much as a 1/2 inch.
I'll be right
of ice
back.
in
I gotta
some
go use the
locations, and it's that area here from Anderson to Greenville to Spartanburg and Gaffney that could likely see the greatest combination of ice and sleet, making for just a very, very rough commute throughout the day tomorrow. So here's a look at the forecast. Remember, there's ice in this location, so when you look at the snow, that's why you have a little bit less snow in some areas, because you're getting more ice. A dusting to as much as 1 inch with ice on top of it in the southern part of the upstate. 1 to 3 inches of snow and sleet across Greenville and Spartanburg, Clemson and Walhalla with ice on top of that. And then you get up into the northern part of Greenville County. That's when things go up very quickly. Basically, Travelers Rest, Highway 11 northbound, you're going to get as much as 3 inches of snow, but closer to 6 possible. And then in the mountains, yes, 6 to 12 inches from Hendersonville to Edneyville. You go Bearwalla up the eastern-facing slopes of Buncombe County, up through Yancey, Mitchell, McDowell, and Avery counties. You'll get closer to 12 to maybe even 15 inches. And then Mount Pisgah and surrounding areas getting close to 12 inches as well. The wind, my big concern. This is what I want to leave you with. As we go into tomorrow, mid-morning, I've got gusts that are up around 50 to 60 miles per hour. You combine that with the trees coated with some ice, even if it's a little bit of ice, down trees and power lines are my main concern. So prepare now for some power outages. If you can, just stay put tomorrow. That's the key here. We're going to get you right back.
I don't get to watch halftime because they've got to tell us about this over and over and over. As if there's a person around here that doesn't fucking know what's coming. In the words of Garth from Wayne's World, as if.
Playoff picture in full motion. Mac Jones heads to Buffalo later tonight. You got TJ Watt, Patrick Mahomes going to meet Sunday night on NBC. It's an electric atmosphere here in Cincinnati to start this.
I will say one thing, the Eagles are not the worst playoff team. That honor goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The regular season on. What do the Raiders need to fix?
The Raiders are playing like the moment is too big for them. Offensively, Derek Carr needs to stop holding on to the football and start looking for Darren Waller and push the ball down the field. You have Zay Jones, you have Deshaun Jackson. Defensively, they need to be more disciplined in their rush lanes and be able to rush with 4, because there's no way that you can bring that extra pressure and have one-on-one with Jamar Chase and the rest of those wide receivers.
This is the first time we get to see this Bengals offense live in person. Joe Burrow overall, what's your take on his game?
Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
He's really good.
Maybe.
That's it. He's really good.
He sure is. Jamar Chase made a big play in that first half. CJ as well, finding the tight end. Uzama really getting involved as well.
Absolutely. And you would think how well they dominated the first half that they'd be up by more. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm in that locker room. I'm enthusiastic because we're only down a touchdown.
They turned out the lights on, so I guess that means it's time for us to go. A huge second half coming up from Cincinnati, Ohio.
That touchdown by Carr at the end of the half. That was awesome.
But Derek Carr, he found Zay Jones late. 1-score game.
feel like I ate too early and I'm going to get hungry later. Hell, I'm hungry right now just because there's nothing going on during halftime. When there's nothing going on, you immediately think about food. Is that funny how that works? I hope the second half goes by faster than the first. There was a lot of commercials. And it wasn't like teams weren't sustaining drives and draining the clock quickly, because they were. But it's the playoffs. Of course, there's going to be commercials. Oh, there's that commercial where they tell me I'm breaking the law. No account of this game can be whatever without the authorized written consent of the NFL. But I do it anyway, because fuck the man. FBI, open up. Oh shit, they're here. As soon as they stop playing their shitty music.
No controversy, open to the playoffs. Cincinnati leading Las Vegas 20-13. Joe Burrow's 146. He had 148 in the game out in the desert in Week 11 that the Bengals won. Derek Carr on the ones and twos, 12-21 for a $121 in his playoff debut. Jamar Chase, 6 touches, all moves the chains. 87 yards for the rookie. The Bengals trying to end that long drought, which is 8 games of the playoff loss. They've led in 7 of them, including that game in here in the 2015 playoffs.
Haven't won a playoff game since 1992. Raiders, January 2003.
In the second quarter, and now Derek Carr will wait and watch, see if his Raiders defense can stop.
As I sit back down in this uncomfortable ass chair
The drive at the end where they took a knee.
that is somehow still better than my chair at work.
Touchdown, field goal, touchdown.
If you can call it work. That's the best kind of work, I guess.
In the AFC, so we're going to have to wait for that Buffalo-New England game coming up later tonight. And then the game on Sunday night with Al, Chris, and Michelle with Kansas City and Pittsburgh to get a sense of who the winner.
Pittsburgh is going to need a lot of flukes, a lot of miracles, and a lot of injuries on the Kansas City side to even have a fucking chance at winning that game.
Started 31 degrees. It's a couple degrees cooler.
But who knows? It's Pittsburgh. They're terrible, but they're so damn lucky.
As a matter of fact,
Wind picking up here in Cincinnati.
to kick it off. Place that finger very lightly there. As it brings Trayvon Morgan there. Just in case it's going to blow off with the wind. Second half underway here in Cincinnati. Chris Evans kicking into this wind. Gotta wait for it at the 9. Tries to get to the edge where he has some blocking.
Good return across the 35.
Good start for Cincinnati.
Bengals have a 7-point lead.
Well, Mike, Zach Taylor had a very calm demeanor at halftime, and he said his priorities for the second half are to win those turnover battles and finish the touchdowns in the red zone, not settle for field goals. I asked Rich Bisaccia if he thought that play was called dead before the Bengals' Tyler Boyd caught the touchdown pass. He said, we got to move past that. Next question. His message to the team, this is it. Keep winning those games. And Diablo and Jefferson both went to the locker room in the second quarter. Big defensive men out for this team in the second half. And Rich Bisaccia said we just have to find other ways to make up for their absence. Mike.
Quentin Jefferson, huge defensive tackle.
Mixon, if he gets around the corner here, he's got a lot of yards. First down. A little more balance here for Cincinnati. Balance in finishing drives. They don't really have to change much. They're doing a good job all around. They're winning the game.
Right off the bat, they're going to pull guards, gap scheme, very specific run scheme, really to get things started. I think we're really going to see a heavy dose of Joe Mixon in this second half, in addition to some of these big play opportunities.
And if Quentin Jefferson's done for the game, that's huge because now you're a Phylon who was injured last week, and Quentin Jefferson really light on the rotation inside.
Burrow to Chase for a gain of 4, maybe 5.
Down on a touch for Chase, which has been rare here tonight. It was a gain of 4.
Yeah, you know, not all quarterbacks love empty formation. In other words, 5 wide receivers, no backs in the backfield. That's something that Joe Burrow does very well. He sees very well. Typically, you got to be really alert for pressure coming off each edge. But your knowledge of where to go with the football, getting it out of your hands quickly, you see Joe Burrow getting a lot of completions in empty.
Play action. No pressure on Burrow. There's Uzama for a gain of 8 and a first down. Gain of 9, actually.
To the 42-yard line. Good game here for Uzama, the tight end tonight. Fourth catch for
Now come back to Mixon here.
Yeah, speaking of big plays, I think they missed one. Watch Tyler Boyd right here. Play action, you pull the guard. What does that do? It brings the linebackers up. You had Tyler Boyd running on all-go special. This special seam is what we call it. Could have been a big play for him there.
Is that why you jumped?
That is why I jumped.
That's why my voice went up, because I saw you jump and you saw it.
Right in the play action, I said, here comes all-go special.
Toss to Mixon to the left side. I like it. Gain of 5.
The 36-yard line.
It was only my favorite play, but I mean, it's part of my DNA. I could smell it coming.
Well, we did bring a ball up to the booth for you. I thought you were going to pick it up and throw it to him. What's it like in these playoff games for a quarterback, especially your first one, like Burrow? Is it just another game?
I mean, you can't just say it's just another game, but typically teams come out and I find that they're a little bit tighter. You know, it's, hey, we can't make mistakes because mistakes are magnified. It usually takes you a little while to get into it. I wouldn't say that's been the case.
Chase wide open. Gain of 7. And we got an injury in the secondary for the Raiders, and it appears to be a bad one. Aggressively waving athletic trainers over.
That can do further damage until the Raiders staff gets over there. They're out to look at the fourth-year corner facer.
I was proud of myself at work the other day during the training. I actually started taking notes. Just for those stupid little quizzes they give us. You can have a cheat sheet, so I started making a cheat sheet for the quiz. But God, I haven't taken notes since high school. Actually, I didn't even take notes in high school, if I'm being honest. I think middle school was the last time I seriously took notes. Taking notes kind of helps. You read the shit, you write the shit down. I don't even need to study after that. I just read it once, and then I write it down, and it's in there. Like, it registers in my brain. And then, of course, it helps in this situation when you can look right back at what you just wrote down. So, if the Rams win, the Eagles would go to Green Bay, I think. Yeah, if the Rams win, then the Eagles go to Green Bay, I believe. Or would it be the Niners? No, it'd be the Eagles. If the Eagles win, you got to play the Packers no matter what.
That hit from his teammate who was closing, Corey Littleton, the helmet-to-helmet hit on his own teammate. Already without two starters in Diablo and Jefferson. Now a third in the blue tent, so it's getting tougher.
Yeah, Raiders getting thin on defense with a couple of injuries. Mixon, gain of 5. Flag is down. I think there was a face mask.
Mixon's slow to get up.
Mixon's
The Cincinnati team
shaking up.
good in terms of taking few penalties.
All legal formation.
If up, it's 7 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
There's a chance for the Raiders.
5-yarders on the Bengals here tonight. They had the fewest penalty yards of any team in the NFL. And only 4 penalties per game on Zach Taylor's team. First and 15, Samaje Perine, who was Mixon's teammate at Oklahoma, is the back.
First 15, Burrow on the run thanks to Crosby. And Burrow has to throw it over the head of Perine. Second and 15. So they got the Bengals backed up now on the down and distance. The lowest seed in the NFC, if the lowest seed wins, they have to go play the highest. You would go play Green Bay. You're the lowest seed. You'd have to go play Green Bay. The 1 seed gets to play the lowest seeded winner from the wild card round.
Second team All-Pro, going to the Pro Bowl. 3rd year out of Eastern Michigan.
Second and 15. Burrow wide open. Chase down at the 12, but there's a flag in the backfield.
By Chase, and he's inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. That flag down by the quarterback as well. And Crosby is pleading his case.
A low hit on Joe Burrow is going to make this first and goal. They got Chase down to the 12. It would be half the distance. So it would be first and goal.
Let's see. We'll wait to see what the call is here. It looked like they were trying to get their personnel straight. The question was, did Versace get a timeout before that?
Are they going to try to give the Raiders a timeout again?
We have officials from different crews here, but 2 of the crew are from Boulder. They didn't see the timeout call was coming from Casey Hayward, who recognized something was amiss. The fans don't like it. This was the flag in the backfield. Looks like that would be on Crosby if it stands up. So Jerome Boger has his umpire.
We have a really long discussion here about this flag.
The others are from different crews. The NFL mixes the crews so the best officials qualified to work the playoffs. But you try to get a couple from the crew of the referee in these rounds, and this is a long conversation of what's going on here. And usually when you see them not talking...
Well, yeah, if the Eagles got knocked out, that would be true. But you asked if the Eagles win, who would they play? And if the Eagles win, you're playing the Packers no matter what because you're the lowest seeded winner. You can't be higher than anybody when you're already the lowest. Wow, they're going to say the Raiders called timeout before that last play. So that chase play doesn't even count.
I think Jerome was going to say more, and then he booed. He's like, enough. So here's the sync, side by side, the timeout call and the snap. As that player at the top there was running off the field as well. So Hayward saw that he had 12 on the field, trying to throw or trying to get the timeout on his own. The flag was thrown because he didn't get off the field. Chase caught the ball. Crosby could have had a roughing the passer.
There is no roughing the pass on the play. The contact was incidental.
But none of it happened.
The contact was incidental on the play. Technically didn't happen now. The Raiders called timeout. They had 12 men on defense. It's close as to whether or not they got the timeout, but the officials went ahead and gave it to them here.
They're going to have a free play. It's just a headsy play by a veteran player.
So Casey Hayward called timeout there as Jamar Chase ran by him.
You see a couple of officials who are wearing outdoor jackets.
So the Bengals are still backed up on 2nd and 15.
There are 5 alternate officials for the playoff games to cover in case anyone gets hurt, or in COVID times, obviously, as Faison walks off the field here now. But back to those officials for a second. They are over there on the sideline to help communicate with the head coach quickly, so they don't have to have the referee come over every time for explanation.
How's that unfair? You're the worst team. It's always been the lowest seed goes to the highest seed. That's the advantage of getting the highest seed. You get to play the lowest seeded winner. It's not the Packers' fault that the Eagles suck. It's the Eagles' fault that the Eagles suck. And they're going to go right back down the field to Higgins, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 15.
It's incomplete. We'll set up 3rd down here.
Yeah, he liked his
If you don't want to have to play the highest seed, do better. Have a better season. The Eagles should just be happy they're in the fucking playoffs. They shouldn't be in, but they should just be happy that they are.
So now you hear 3rd and 15. You know your kicker's got
Still better than the Steelers, though, and better than the Bears were last year.
get some positive yards here to get
3rd and 15 Bengals, I think, yeah. Got to think field goal here.
Field goal from here would be 52.
And they're going to throw it short to Chase.
Getting the blocks.
And he's down to the
But a good play by Nate Hobbs.
25.
Take down Chase at the 25. And a field
So the
goal
Bengals can get a field goal and go back up by 10.
Now this is just another way to throw a screen. You're basically getting the ball into Jamar Chase's hands really quickly while you have.
Then don't complain about them having to play the Packers. If they're happy to be in the playoffs, don't complain about having to play the high seed.
See if you can split one of these.
They sealed their own fate by being a shitty team during most of the year. But they were lucky enough to beat some bad teams to squeak into the playoffs.
just swirling a little bit off the right hash. He draws the ball from
23
43.
to 13. Bengals.
Physical talent of the 5th-round rookie out of Florida.
The false start and then the questionable timeout call killed that drive for the Bengals. It's a shame you guys can't play the Steelers in the playoffs. Why is that fucking... Okay. If only NFC and AFC played each other before the Super Bowl, then you'd get a shot at Pittsburgh, and then you might actually win a playoff game. Every year now, we're going to have to suffer through crappy teams making the playoffs because the NFL wants more games for TV money. Last year it was the Bears. This year's the fucking Eagles and the Steelers. Arguably, you could make a case for the Raiders, but damn, at least they won 10 games. The Raiders had to overcome a lot. I kind of have a soft spot for the Raiders. I don't think there's any other team in the NFL that could have succeeded under the circumstances that they did this year. So the Raiders might be the most impressive backdoor playoff team I've ever seen. I wonder if there'll be any field goals in that Buffalo game. Is it going to be windy up there again? I know it's going to be below zero, but is it going to be windy?
NBC's new Tuesday comedy Grand Crew has critics raving. It's endearing and hilarious. That was the premiere of Grand Crew Tuesday on NBC.
Well, Michael, I got to be honest. I was in favor of them firing Doug Peterson. Do you remember what got Doug Peterson fired? He threw a game against Washington late in the season. Yes, they had nothing to play for. But what kind of message does that send to the team when you make it blatantly obvious you don't care if they win or lose after all the hard work they've put in all year? So Peterson had to go. The Eagles were right to fire Doug Peterson. Those were bizarre circumstances. Yes, seeing a coach fired 2 years after a Super Bowl. But let's be real. Their Super Bowl run was a complete fucking fluke, and that got exposed, and that's why he got fired. The Eagles' Super Bowl run was a total fluke. Because they haven't even come close to replicating half of that success since. They're the greatest one-hit wonder since, I don't know, Dexy's Midnight Runners. You know, Come On Eileen. That's what the Eagles were. One of the all-time greatest one-hit wonders. Here's the Raiders with Jacobs, who gets swamped immediately.
Sets the physical presence on that defense. He anticipates it, beats the guard's block. Tackle for loss. Those plays are the ones that now can get.
It was a total fluke. And it was proven because what have they done since? What did they do before that and what have they done since? Nothing. They were good for 1 year. Carr's got all the time. I thought Carr was going to load up and just throw downfield. He found Waller for a first down.
Is hopping back behind the quarterback there. And you're going to get the athletic training staff out to look at Ogunjobi.
And we got an injury for the Bengals.
7 sacks this year as he got hurt.
He's one of those big free agent signings that we talked about. Be tough to lose him.
Gonna be another long half.
Played his first 4 years in Cleveland. Let's watch him. Just that step.
He got the fumble recovery earlier. Now he's hurt.
Look at him, and we'll step out for a moment.
And back to commercial we go. Fucking Christ. Watching football is hard because it just gets boring when there's 1,000 commercials and you can't get into the flow of the game. We're not even 5 minutes into the third quarter. If this game goes to overtime, it might bleed into the Buffalo and New England game, which I hate when that happens during the playoffs. I'll tell you why Philly never won a Super Bowl in the early 2000s. Andy Reid didn't have Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid's a great coach, but he didn't have Mahomes in Philly. And Mahomes pretty much saved Andy Reid's career. Philly didn't have receivers back then either until they had T.O. for about a year and a half or whatever it was. That was a big problem back then. They didn't have somebody like Mahomes because McNabb was good, but he was no Mahomes. And they needed a receiver bad, which is why they went and got T.O. Brian Dawkins was great. I love Brian Dawkins. Trent Cole and Brian Dawkins And Hugh Douglas. Well, to be fair, T.O. almost single-handedly won you a Super Bowl by his damn self on a broken leg. So, almost. But Andy Reid fucking mismanaged the last 5 minutes of the game and essentially gave it to the damn Patriots after McNabb spent the whole day giving it to the Patriots. Also, lest we forget, Spygate. They try to run with Jacobs again. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Having a really good game. Mike Hilton's first penetration helped Hubbard get time to make the stop.
Yeah, that's really a heck of a play by Mike Hilton. Watch him here. You know, big free agent signing for Pittsburgh. Something they did there a lot was pressure him off the slot. That's something he's known for. Has a great ability to time it up. And his defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo said he's like a pit bull when he gets in that backfield.
Fakes it to Jacobs. Throws it low to Edwards, and they say incomplete. 3rd and 10. Hopefully we can see a replay here and see if the Raiders should challenge this. You know they're not going to get a replay on the Jumbotron in a away game. That looks like a fucking catch to me. That looks like a fucking catch to me.
That's a catch. But now I think New York's helping him here.
They overturn it. It's a catch. Okay. So it'll be about a 3rd and 3 instead of a 3rd and 10.
Where the league office watching all the feeds in New York will tell them that it was complete. And there's no need for the challenge to happen. Replay assist is what's technically called.
I think that's an example of the system working correctly.
Right. People want the eye in the sky, the college every play review, whole kind of thing. It just expedites the game, and all you want is the right call to be made.
Zach Taylor's bitching about that too.
It's 3rd and 4.
3rd down for the Raiders.
That's a big
Play
play.
clock down to 2, 1, 0. They snap it. Carr lobs it to Renfro, who dropped it. I think they're going to say, did he juggle that? Okay, they're going to say he caught it and fumbled it. That's the initial call. I'd like to see the other side and see if he was bobbling that. They rule catch. Hurry up and snap this ball. Come on. I can't take another 20-minute replay review. And challenge flag.
I mean, this has been
Referees are earning their money today.
those nights where the officiating is taking
Andreas, you're going to say he only had 137 yards on a broken leg. Yeah, I'm sorry. The best he could do for you was 137 yards on a broken fucking leg. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, T.O. couldn't do more for you. T.O., if the Eagles had won that Super Bowl, he would have been Super Bowl MVP. He was the only reason the Eagles got back within 3 at the end of that game. Andy Reid shit the bed on clock management, though, and gave the Eagles essentially no chance, so all of T.O.'s hard work was for nothing. Catch, 1, 2. Yeah, it's a catch and fumble. So they were right the first time, and the Bengals should lose this challenge and a timeout. I'm going to say catch, fumble. Bengals lose the challenge. My gut said incomplete at first, but I figured he was juggling it, but we couldn't see. Then you see from that angle, no, he caught it and took a step or two, and then it got knocked out. Well, no, if it's a fumble, that's a good thing. Because it went out of bounds, and Renfro had the first down, so it's going to be first down Raiders. Because he caught the ball, then fumbled it. It went out of bounds. First down Raiders. So it just said on the drive chart it's been overturned. It's an incomplete pass, 4th down. So the Bengals actually won the challenge, according to the drive chart thing here that I'm looking at. We'll see when they come back for commercial what they said, but yeah, they're going to overturn this. So the Bengals are going to win the challenge. So it's incomplete, 4th down. After we sit through another 10 minutes of commercials here. Then they're going to come back. They're going to punt the ball, and then we're going to go back to commercial for another 5 fucking minutes, and then come back. I'm surprised to see that one get overturned.
After reviewing the play, it's an incomplete pass. It's a 4th down.
I disagree, officials. You got that one wrong. That was a catch and fumble.
Cincinnati is not charged. They turn them out.
That was a catch and fumble. They got it wrong. Raiders have to punt because of their mistake. Line drive. So the Bengals have a 10-point lead in the ball. A chance to really put this away.
So as we said, it's one of those things, you want the games decided on the field, not with calls, but this is certainly one that will be discussed for a while. Very key play. Bengals go up by the score of 20-6. You hear the whistle. Watch 25 for the Raiders. He kind of stops a little bit. As the ball is in the air, the ball's caught by Boyd. Even Boyd didn't celebrate right away. Everybody was just in pause mode. We heard the whistle. After consultation with the officials on the field, it was ruled a touchdown, able to stand, and it's a lead for the Bengals. They've maintained that lead. It's 10 now, and here is the same man who caught that one, Boyd, with a physical finish on the pass to get to the 34-yard line.
I like how the sideline was like, don't do it, Boyd, because he was going to get flagged for taunting because he was looking at Casey Hayward.
About what happened in that play during the game. They'll have a statement after the game, and certainly a conversation with the officials involved before the league makes a statement on it is the proper way to go about that. So that's the housekeeping on that. And as Rich Bisaccia told Catherine, yeah, put that behind you. Yeah, go ahead. You're not going to have it taken away an hour later. Second drive of the half for the Bengals, 2nd and 5.
It's an end around to Boyd. Tripped up. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Flag is down. And it's on the Bengals. Illegal block in the back. Well, Jerome Boger's really struggling to form sentences today.
It's on Jonah Williams, the left tackle.
That's a costly one there.
It almost felt like it was right at the...
These refs are starting to shit the bed, aren't they?
There it is.
A little bit of a block in the bag, yeah.
Contact on Littleton. The guy ends up making the tackle. With the penalty, drives him back. So it's now 2nd and a dozen for Burrow. He throws.
And it's dropped by Higgins. It was going to be it was a hard catch to make, so I'm not going to hold that against him. 3rd and 12.
Remains a corner as Brandon Faison was taken to the locker room for further examination.
Yeah, they tried in the last drive to run by Casey Hayward. This time, hooking up in front of him, just barely missing outside. But you know, these are the plays you got to make. You don't want to be stuck in 3rd and long situations here after the penalty. Looks like it's a 3-man rush. Let's see if they bring pressure.
Chris Evans is the back. They do bring one. They bring 4.
Pressure on Burrow. Crosby gets the sack. And the Raiders force a 3 and out. That's how you overcome a bad call.
With a sack to force the Bengals' first punt of the day.
Yeah, it's the first time the Bengals will punt.
Here as well. Max Crosby sets it up with this move, but watch Corey Littleton bang. Comes in on this stunt, hits the tackle, allows Max Crosby to loop inside and get the sack. But man, when you get these third and long situations, these guys can pin their ears back, especially guys like Max Crosby, and you got no help over there, he's going to get to you quickly.
Veteran Kevin Huber, his first punt of the night.
Hunter Renfrow fumbled the punt, but he recovered it.
Looking to get back
Woo!
at the 27-yard line. A lot of pushing and shoving going on here, but finally it's all done. Well, you know it's been a tumultuous year for the Raiders.
Renfrow muffed the punt, but recovered it.
In October, after offensive emails from his personal account were leaked.
Once again, John Gruden should have been fired, but isn't it funny how he was the only one that got punished for what was said in all those emails?
DUI and a fatal car crash, and 1 week later, the other 20
And then Henry Ruggs fucking murdered someone. That's nice.
after a disturbing video surfaced of him making death threats while holding a firearm. There's so much that happened in this season. There were several executives in the Raiders organization who were let go before training camp even started. Injuries as usual, and through it all somehow.
I bet Mike Mayock keeps his job. It's a decent roster they've put together.
To the coaches in place, including Rich Bisaccia, the interim head coach.
Carr wanting to go deep. He will. Wide open to Deshaun Jackson. There's a flag. Jackson's out at the Bengals 40.
There's a flag down back by Carr.
Holding on the Raiders. Never mind.
Yeah, watch the right guard here, Alex Leatherwood. He's really struggled all year. First round pick. But he's one-on-one here with B.J. Hill, and watch, he barely it's a good call by the officials, but man, these are the things that the Raiders just cannot afford at this point. You have an opportunity for big plays.
Yeah, the refs are starting to get a little out of hand. I mean, that was a hold and everything, but I feel like maybe they should have been calling those in the first half.
Didn't do well there in 4 games. Moved him in at right guard. He's continued to struggle. First and 20. And Carr. Renfro's got a lot
Nice play to Hunter Renfrow to get a lot of that yardage back.
Yeah, this is when you as a quarterback need to just calm everybody down. Just continue to chip away at this. Trust your playmakers. Trust guys like Renfrow, Waller. Be able to hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs. Listen, you're only down 10 points. And there's plenty of time. So think about just methodically putting together a good drive here. Get first down after first down. If the big play opportunities come, great. But otherwise, just be efficient.
Second and 11.
Up the sideline for Edwards. It's batted up and incomplete.
Stayed there and broke it up.
Eli Apple batted it up, and I thought Hilton was going to come in and pick it off before it hit the ground. I thought.
Did a good job.
Third and 11.
Saints, and now he's here as a Bengal.
Yeah, you know what? He wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year, but he's earned that spot, and he's really come on late. Watch him here. He's very good in press coverage. He feels the receiver's eyes come around, so his eyes come around as well. He's able to not only make the play, but almost knock this ball back inside for an interception.
Asking a lot on 3rd and 11. Hunter Renfrow got wide open first down. That was just, wow. Carr didn't even have to drop back. It was like instantly Renfro's wide open 10 yards down the field, first down.
I'm guessing one of these linebackers went the wrong way. Should be buzzing this way, instead he buzzes this way. And watch the void that leaves now.
Boom, Renfrow wide open.
It's just one of those coverage busts. Sometimes you're trying to disguise, drop the wrong direction.
Last couple of plays, I've not seen Trey Hendrickson. Big pass rushing edge defender for the Bengals.
Josh Jacobs. Gain of 7 to the 50.
To the 50-yard line. Excellent first down pickup of 8. Under 5 minutes left here in the third.
Yeah, you said it, Mike. You know, the first half.
Yeah, how does it get that open that fast? In those situations, it's always Renfrow and Waller. And I'm pretty sure they both got open there, and he went to Renfrow because he got open first.
In the fourth quarter and overtime, he's averaged 6 yards a carry. So as the game gets going, the more carries he gets, the hotter he gets, and the more that they start really pounding the ball. They need to continue to do that.
Especially the Bengals being down 3 offensive linemen here.
And a first down for Jacobs.
Eli Apple coming down for the tackles to the 3-yard line. Mike Daniels and Ogunjobi, the tackles hurt earlier.
Run your way back into this game. Keep the Bengals offense on the sideline.
Is being evaluated for a concussion. His return is questionable to this game, Mike.
That's huge. What a difference.
Trey Henderson is out.
That changes a lot for the Raiders offensively.
Well, he's questionable. They haven't confirmed his concussion yet. But I'm going to run to where he should be because he's not out there. I'm going to pound this ball with Jacobs here for a minute.
So this is when you just start wearing them down with the run game.
Jacobs again. Gain of 5.
Maybe 5 yards on first down, and Jacobs looks like he's ready to go. he's not Zeke, but he's telling you, feed me.
Look, we all saw the game last week, fourth quarter.
You're right. Josh Jacobs is not Zeke Elliott because Josh Jacobs is still good. Josh Jacobs is not fat and slow. Josh Jacobs injured is better than a healthy Zeke Elliott.
This is when those running backs get in the huddle and say, just feed me, keep feeding me.
Cam Sample, rookie out of Tulane, is now in the lineup for the Bengals on that defensive front.
Back to Jacobs again. I like it. He's going to get the first down or right at it. There's a flag, of course.
First down. Flag is down there.
Holding. Offense. Who do you say for Super Bowl? We all know it's going to be fucking Bucks and Chiefs again. I'm hoping for Packers. I don't really care who makes it from the AFC. I'd like to see the Bengals or the Raiders make it, but only one of them is going to have a chance after tonight. But I think it'll be Chiefs and Bucks again, and I think the Chiefs will win this time. I think the Chiefs win this year.
Just keep your hands inside.
But I could be wrong.
Instead, you can see him have the outside shoulder pad there.
Whatever. That was not really much of a hold, I don't think. But it's backed the Raiders up. Checks it down to Jacobs. Gets a lot of the yardage back. They're going to have to overcome a 3rd and long again. The refs wanted to remind us in this second half that, hey, they're here too, you know.
Quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, when he first came to the Raiders as a second-round pick, he was so excited to have the chance to play in a playoff game because he missed the one in 2016 when he injured his leg late in the season.
Yeah, and his late game heroics this year, 6 walk-offs, the way that he's played big in big moments.
3rd and 8. I think it's 4-down territory
And his leadership has been huge in the tumult of the Raiders season.
from this point of the field. If they get a positive play here, they go right to Renfro, squeaks through. Be about a 3rd and 3.5. I think you go for this. You go for this.
A field goal from here with some wind to factor in is 54 yards.
The field goal would make it a 1-score game, but it's a long one and it's cold and windy, but they got the wind to their back. So, Michael, I hope Green Bay wins it. Green Bay is the team I want to see win it all. They're the team I'd be rooting for the most in the NFC.
He read his lips. He said 54. He was reading lips and then decided to go for it. With a Bengal player injured.
They got an injury for the Bengals. Gives the Raiders some time to figure out. Hilton is down.
And the injury is mounting now on the Cincinnati defensive
See,
side.
Tampa Bay last year in the playoffs wasn't that good either, and they're not as good this year as they were last year. Tampa shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl last year. They got really lucky against the Saints. They should have lost to New Orleans, but they got really lucky in that game. I just feel like Brady's luck, hashtag Brady's luck, is just going to happen again. It doesn't matter how good or how bad the Bucs are or how bad Tom Brady plays because he threw 3 interceptions in the second half against Green Bay in the championship game last year, and the Bucs still fucking won. So it literally doesn't matter how bad Tom Brady plays. He sucked against the Saints. He sucked against the Packers. They won both of those games. He got all the credit for it even though he played like shit. It doesn't matter. That team's just going to win no matter what. And they'll get every fucking call imaginable, as they did against the Packers and against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They got every single fucking bullshit call imaginable go their way. So that'll happen again. So Eagles, beware. You're playing the Bucs and the refs tomorrow because every bad call is going to go in favor of Tampa Bay. I promise you.
Even in his second year in the league, Burrow's presence is the reason.
4th and 3. We're going to have the same championship games as last year, and I think we're going to get the same Super Bowl as well. We'll see what the Titans can do in the NFC. They're about the most under-the-radar 1 seed I've ever seen. Raiders line up in the gun on 4th and 3. Richard's the running back. Carr's going to drop and throw down the field, and it goes nowhere. There's a flag in the secondary. I think they're going to get interference on Cincinnati. First down Raiders, and Carr's excited about it.
And the drive will stay alive. A 4th down conversion by penalty.
More flags.
Hargraves, who played only 40
Vernon Hargraves.
all year before last week's game when most of the regulars sat, so Hargraves played more in that one. He hasn't been on the field much this year. Was there because of the injury and drew the flag.
Yeah, you know, in that situation, you're thinking Renfro, you're thinking Waller, these guys are getting doubled. You know, one of the guys who was singled there was Morrow. It ends up being a nice gain for them via penalty.
It's a 10-point game. Raiders are field goal range.
They're at the Bengals 25. Carr over the middle. Edwards takes a shot. That'll probably be a penalty. Okay, no flag. I expected a penalty because he took a hard hit. 1st and goal.
9-yard line. It's 1st and goal for Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's playoff football right there.
I'm hoping the Eagles do the world a favor tomorrow.
Really nice job by Jesse Bates of finding that target right in his chest with his shoulder. Good clean hit all the way around.
That was a clean hit. I just expected a flag because, well, it's the NFL. 1st and goal, the 9. Blitz. Carr lobs it away. Incomplete. He threw it away. The pressure. They brought a blitz there. Corner blitz.
Let's go back to the play that Hargraves was called for pass interference.
Yeah, so here's Hargraves and Morrow right there. You see how he just hooks his hip, slows him down. Refs will call that every time.
Terry McCauley's taught us in his years with us here, you're restricting the pass receiver from getting out. Those 2 arms wrapped around, that restricts the movement. Doesn't feel like a ton, but it's the right deal. Hilton is back in the game, 2nd and goal. St. Jones on the move, right inside.
Run it with Jacobs. Pounds up the middle, down to the 1. Flag is down. Never mind. Yeah, another flag. What a surprise. Holding offense. Yeah, I'm going to make fun of this idiot's voice.
The Raider offensive line has made way too many mistakes to play winning football tonight. 3rd hold on the drive.
I mean, look, we
3 holding calls on 1 drive.
have 2 defensive tackles, but if you keep holding, you're just setting yourself back. So find a way to lean on these guys.
That really wasn't a hold. The guy was down on his knees and out of the play. Whatever, it's the last play of the quarter.
So now you're back at the 19. It's 2nd and goal. Final seconds of the 3rd.
You got to snap this ball.
No delay game called. Carr throws to
Waller drops it. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 19 to start the 4th quarter. Way to go, refs.
So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It was choppy, a lot of flags, only 1 field goal. The Bengals lead by 10 after 3 of this AFC wildcard.
Jesus fucking Christ. 4th quarter, the Bengals have a 10-point lead. The Raiders are on a 3rd and goal from the 19. As the referees can't just fucking sit on it for a little while. So glad the officials are playing such a prominent role here in the second half. I guess they had to let us have some fun in the first half and get our hopes up, and now they're taking over the show. I can't even describe what I just saw. my God. So I don't know what game this is. It's a racing game, right? And this guy's in the lead of the race coming to the finish line, and he jumps off a ramp, and the car behind him jumps off a ramp. The car behind him lands on his roof and goes across the finish line, stuck on his roof, and it gives the car on the roof first place, and says the guy driving finished second. What game is this? Is that Forza? I don't think it's Forza. I don't know what game it is, but that's fucking funny. Landed on top of the roof and got the nose of his car on top of the other car enough and stayed on top of him as he carried him across the finish line and gets the win. That's fucking funny. That's good stuff. Plug this phone in and get in the habit of keeping it plugged in tomorrow for most of the day, so if the power were to go out, at least I can still watch football. Third and goal from the 19. Carr throws it short to Waller, who's tackled after a gain of 2. Raiders will have to settle for a field goal, but that will make it a one-score game again. What's my thoughts on the Brandon Brown situation? He should pick a better fucking sponsor. Like, I feel sorry for Brandon Brown in a lot of ways, but he should pick a better fucking sponsor.
You were running the ball really effectively. You got a defensive line.
Not that there's a lot out there. I understand that.
This game, 3 out of their top
but the whole situation's fucking retarded.
Defensive linemen are out.
The Let's Go Brandon thing was funny as hell when it happened. I was live streaming it. We laughed. It was hilarious. Now it's just gotten old. 34-yard field goal is good. We have a one-score game in the fourth quarter of a playoff game.
Today, Cincinnati's lead is 7. First minute, final quarter.
And we go right back to commercial. Because we just got to get those in. I'll be right back. I'm going to go stretch my legs. Am I going to stream the Bucs game? Yeah, I'm streaming all the games. Because it's playoff games. I'll stream them all. As well as the Bills game later tonight. There'll be a short break between this stream and the next. But yeah, I'm doing both games tonight and all 3 tomorrow and the one on Monday. Oh my God, what? Don't tell me it's a email about, hey, it's going to snow. Hey, the Pro Bowl's February 6th. Who gives a shit? The Clash is on that day, and that's when the heat races will be going on.
watch the excitement on ABC.
Right, Andreas, I'll see you around if you're going now.
Jamar Chase, Max Crosby, a couple of the guys who are...
We have a one-score game in the fourth quarter.
One-score game, 14-17 to go. Carlson kick. Chris Evans back deep. Overrated at 2. And up the numbers. Tackled at the 25.
Bengals will start at the 25.
Cincinnati will start the drive. And NBC's Wild Card Playoff is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. By Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL. By Geico, save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And by Toyota, let's go places. Last playoff win for each team pictured there, including 1990 AFC wildcard game as the Bengals beat the Oilers, played on Jan 6, 1991 at Old Riverfront Stadium.
Mixon for 2.
Mixon.
That was the old turf.
Oh,
Riverfront Stadium.
Really? That was the home of the carpet. The home of the Bengals in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They played their first couple of years at historic Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, where the University of Cincinnati, led by Luke Fickell, had an exceptional year. This has been as good a football year as this great Queen City has had in quite some time. Will it end with the Bengals playoff win to start 2022 and move on to the final 8?
Whoever loses this game is going to be absolutely heartbroken. Uzama near a first down.
Despite Denzel Perryman trying to pull it away. Just short.
3rd and inches.
Just short of the first down.
I know the Bengals love to just get in shotgun and throw passes here, but at some point they're going to have to get back to this run game with Joe Mixon. I don't think you want to get in a situation where you're just letting Max Crosby play after play tee off on you in the drop back passing game.
It's a good call, because one play could change everything. Crosby's a game record.
They run it with Mixon, who just got the first. That was a lot just to get an inch. Now come back and run it some more.
Yes, so the Raiders bring in their run front. Really nice job by the nose guard of getting through here. But watch Joe Mixon, this powerful run here. Breaks that tackle, runs through Nassib, through the corner. That's why you have a guy like that. Can get you the hard yards, not just on first and second down, but more importantly on 3rd and short.
We miss a guy like Quentin Jefferson. Damian Square couldn't make the play behind the line.
Burrow overthrows Chase. Oh. And there was a safety back there. That's how you wind up throwing an interception. You overthrow and it lands in the hands of the safety behind him.
It was one of those where you felt like it was going to be a tip ball. You wondered if they were going to go for the hit or go for the pick.
Burrow 18 of 28 tonight.
Yeah, probably not as efficient a night as maybe what we're used to seeing, especially as of late. You really have to credit this Raider defense. I think they're doing a good job with their disguises and throwing them off a little bit.
Blitz, they get there. He checks it down to Mixon. Short gain, it'll be 3rd and about 7.
3 yards, and we're just shy of the 40. Mixon's been slow getting up a couple of times here in this second half. He's going to look over to the sideline. We wonder if we'll see P. Ryan come in now. We will. 3rd down anyway. Samaje plays on 3rd down often.
Yeah, this is one where you feel like the momentum is a little bit in the Raiders.
3rd and 7.
On the drive that they were just on, got some points.
The Raiders are just hanging in here all day. The closer the game, the more it favors the Raiders. Blitzed, and Chase gets in front of Trufant, 1st down.
Man, those two know each other so well, and they connect in a big spot for 19 yards.
Well, the first thing I love is the fact that I could hear him calling out number 33 in protection. So he wants to make sure he's going to get the blitz picked up, and then what does he do? He goes to his one-on-one matchup. His guy, Jamar Chase, short side. So much trust and anticipation on this back shoulder. Jamar Chase knows it's coming. Looks at the right time, late hands, and that's just great execution.
Chase talked about that with us. Those late hands. Said, how long have you had late hands? All the time. Right, that's not an NFL thing. I worked on that.
Fake it to P-Ron. There's Chase again, wide open, first down in front of Trufant.
Players coming up big for the Bengals in this playoff game. Chase is now over 100 yards with Brad 9 of the night.
Yeah, you get these play action, mixing these play actions. What that does, just freezing linebackers. Watch these linebackers. You know, they freeze a little bit with that play action fake before bailing out of there, but it opens up these windows for these being able to work the middle of the field, and they're getting more shell defense now for the Raiders. So look for them to work the middle.
Two safeties in the back. P-Ryan stays out.
P-Ron for 3.
A couple of yards. We'll dive under 10 minutes here.
10 minutes to go.
Talking to Burrow about Chase and Chase about
Now, if you can sustain a drive here and get a 2-score lead, even if it's just a field goal and a 10-point lead, you start to feel pretty good.
We asked Burrow, hey, did you try to go tell him?
And yeah, Chase is putting on a fucking clinic. And Burrow as well.
He said, I just stayed in the background, but he did tell Chase.
Chase's route running is unbelievable. And he's just a physical freak. A specimen. But it helps that he does everything right that a wide receiver is supposed to do. There's Higgins underneath. Gets a first down. A little quick slant. Starting to feel like the Bengals are going to put this thing away. Important to remember the Raiders have burnt a timeout earlier, so they're down to 2. A long drive here puts it away, I think.
His right ankle, lower leg worked on the bench as P-Ryan stays in.
Yeah, quite honestly, a lot of this has been in the passing game. You know, they really have not gotten a whole lot going on the ground thus far.
Have Burrow finish this thing out throwing the ball.
Burrow underneath one more time.
Boyd for a gain of 6.
All of his receivers here now. We saw Chase and Higgins. Boyd earlier, Uzama on this drive.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd is really the Hunter Renfrow of this offense for the Bengals. He plays in the slot a lot, one of the best slot receivers there is in the game. But he runs up. It looks like he's got a 3-way go. He could break out, he could hook it up, or he could break in. He felt the middle of the field open. He broke in. Really good decision by a savvy slot receiver.
He's been here for a while.
Bengals get their first playoff win in 30 years. They're going to name a street after Joe Burrow and build him a statue already. Mixon back in. 3rd and about a half a yard. 3rd and a half a yard. 8 minutes to go.
You think about all those Bengals names and all those players who were here. I know they didn't have the playoffs.
If they get this first down, the Raiders' only option is to force a turnover. It's going to be to that point where it's like turnover or we lose.
City, a winning culture and how they could win, because the Bengals were down for a long time. And you wonder how many of those Bengals former players who connected so well with this city are watching across the country tonight and pulling for not just the franchise, but the city to see a playoff win for the first time in a couple of generations.
Yeah, I hope they're proud.
Bring back Achilles Smith. Toss play to Mixon on 3rd and half a yard. Short, I think, but it's inches. You got to go for this. Go for it. It's an inch. I know you could kick the field goal and go up by 2 scores. I'm going to go for this. They got to measure.
So Jerome Boger's going to stop it here at 7:09 and bring him out.
Timeout for a measurement.
Thank you.
What do you think, Michael? Go for this or take the 10-point lead? And this, I'm going to say go for it. It's the playoffs. Foot on the throat. You can get an inch. Then I'm going to run it a few times, and then I'll take the field goal. But I need one more first down to put this fucker away. To be in much better position to put this away.
All right, so what are you thinking here? If this is
Achilles Smith and his amazing Wonderlick score. Short of the first. Go for it. You say field goal? That's that old school football mind kicking in. I'm going to say go for this.
He said, look, I got all the analytics. I got somebody in my ear telling me, hey, it's the
Then I'm going to run it 3 times and kick the field goal.
I apply the human feel to it, too. And you just kind of know a sense of momentum at the moment. It'll be very interesting to see. Do you try to draw them off here or do you just go for it?
Yeah, listen, which you have to. And what he also said was, you know what? we got to go win this game. And also recognize who's on the other side of the field. It was Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
But you know what? We've got to go win this game. We've got to go earn it. To win this division,
He's going to go to the John Harbaugh School of Coaching here.
You know, look, you're here. You're in the fourth quarter. There's 7 minutes left. You're up by 7 points. You kick a field goal here. You make it a 2-possession game. I think you really need to kick the field goal here.
Okay.
Drew says kick the field goal. Michael says kick the field goal. I say go for it.
So whatever the plan is, no play and draw him off or go for it. Joe Burrow is adding a little bit of advice before the play call in the huddle here.
Got to get this clock down. We're down to 7 minutes. 4th and inches.
Take the
Timeout. Could have waited a little longer for that timeout. They had 9 seconds left on the play clock.
The way he just looked at Zach was that maybe there was a check, and if he got the front that he wanted, he would actually run a play.
Interesting. Did you guys do that?
We got to shoot.
Did you and Sean do that in New Orleans?
Yeah. If like, for example, if that was going to be quarterback sneak, and you felt like, all right, they're giving us a lane or a gap to hit it, well, let's do it. But if they're going to play a gaps defense, which they did.
Here comes the field goal unit. Okay.
Like that, we're either going to run outside or we're going to call a timeout and kick the field goal.
I like the veteran move by Yannick Ngakoue, too, on the end. He stood up to I'm not trying to get you to jump.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, you see all these defenses. I've seen it more this year than any is kind of that late shift to try to get the offensive line to jump.
Field goal to go up by 10 with 6:49 to go. It's good. Raiders have 2 timeouts. They're down by 10. They got 6:45, 6:46, whatever. It's getting pretty late in the day. Maybe I am an idiot, but I would have tried to get that inch. And then I'd run it 3 times and then kick the field goal. I want to make them burn their timeouts and see if I can get a little more time off the clock. But hell, just burning the timeouts is a win there for the Bengals. Maybe in Madden, you go for it there, because in Madden, people can score so quick and so fucking easy. But this is real life, so maybe my Madden brain was creeping in there. Although, like Drew said, I'm pretty sure it was, if they check, the look is right, go for it. But if you're not confident, then you just don't. And you saw Burrow stand up and shake his head and then call timeout. They should have done the Kurt Warner play where Burrow turns around, looks dejected, unsnaps his chin strap, and goes walking off the field, and then they snap the ball to the running back. The old Kurt Warner special. Brandon Staley would have went for it. Oh, look, Matt Damon's selling Bitcoin to retards. Thank you, Mohammed, for the virus link there.
Been a long time. It's been dry in the playoff desert for these teams, among a few others. O2 AFC Championship, last win for the Raiders. Dolphins, 2000 AFC wildcard. They've lost their last 4. Our friends up in Detroit, 9 straight losses. Breeze handed one of them to Stafford and the Lions in a high-scoring game in the Dome. But then you get to Cincinnati. It's the end of the road. 1990 AFC wildcard game played in January of 1991. And they have to about that a lot. This is the first time in that 8-game postseason losing streak the Bengals have scored more than 20 points.
Just whatever you do, Bengals, don't celebrate so much winning a wild card game and fucking play like shit next week.
This one will be shy of the
This is just the first of a few games you got to win.
Down 10 for Derek Carr. All right, what's your mindset, quarterback? Couple of timeouts. You need 2 scores, 6:41 to go.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency. You know, you want to get tempo going here. I certainly wouldn't have been in the run game, especially with the fact that
everything has to be no huddle, up tempo. They can make big plays. The Raiders can make big plays. They can go. Now it's Deshaun Jackson's time. He's not in the game yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him out here a lot on this drive. And the first thing they do is throw it short to Renfro for like 3 yards. Got to get it rolling.
He's got the most receptions for Las Vegas here this evening. 7 for 53.
And they're huddling. Quickly, but still huddling.
So you should have these opportunities for throws underneath to Waller, to Renfro. Doesn't mean you don't call your shots, but don't be afraid to check it down.
Oh, man, that pressure. He gets it to Jacobs, who's got room to run. 40, 45, and out of bounds. There's a flag.
They would have picked up a block down the field, but there's a flag down as well. This is over on the near side, away from the play. Throwing to the 35.
I think it's on the Bengals.
Line of scrimmage was the 26, and once again we'll get an extended conversation.
And now we're going to have a meeting. Or is it eligible downfield on the Raiders? Ineligible downfield. This offensive line is shit in the bed.
You actually could not have timed this play call any better. You're getting pressure off of the slot, which means you love the screen game. You're going to lure all of these defensive linemen in, and then you're going to drop the screen over the top, which is exactly what they did. It took a little bit longer than normal. So Alex Leather with the right guard just got a little bit too far down the field there.
Back up 5, 2nd and 12. Carr about to get hit, got rid of it.
Carr gets rid of it to Jacobs, who gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And we have another flag.
This one's in the secondary with Zay Jones. I think he was held.
Holding on Cincinnati.
This could be a first down for the Bengals.
Defense, number 22.
Raiders get a first down.
Automatic first down.
Yeah, it's a good call by the officials. Wouzier just got caught flat-footed, felt like he was going to get run by, so he grabbed him. But that really bailed out the Raiders there. You know, they're going to be sitting at...
Yeah. Lucky break for the Raiders.
That has not been good to them today. But instead they get a new fresh set of downs.
Turning clock, 5.5 in regulation.
Carr lobs it up. It's incomplete. He was waiting for Waller to come around.
He had 10 picks in college, 4 picks this year. It was a good job in coverage.
No Penske car in Xfinity this year, Michael. My worst fears came true. No more 22 car. Until Austin Cindric has a son of his own in 20 years. Rifle of a shot by Carr. First down to Waller. Great throw. On the ball. We're down to 5:20 and counting.
With 2 timeouts left and needing 2 scores.
Yeah, working the middle of the field with Waller. That's a guy you just got to continue to feed. He's your big playmaker.
He's a matchup nightmare. Throws it short to Renfro. Gets tackled after a gain of 5. They're moving still. Just it feels like they're moving too slow. I know they're going no huddle and all that, but they're just not able to get the big plays they need. And then they're getting stopped by these damn penalties. Although it's been a couple of plays since they had a penalty. That's amazing. I'm stunned. Another good throw by Carr, but it's incomplete.
Well covered by Jesse Bates, who's made a couple of big plays in this second half.
Yeah, watch Carr's eyes here. It looks like he's reading Josh Jacobs out of the backfield on this choice route. Doesn't get him. So now he's looking across the field at Moreau. Just a little bit late. If he can find him a little bit sooner, great ball placement. If find him a little bit sooner, he'd have a big play. Third down here.
I don't think it's no sponsorship. I just think it's Penske and Tim Cindric don't want to spend the money on anybody that's not a fucking family member, so they're not going to give anybody a shot. Carr deep down the sideline to no one. Fourth down. Got to have it. Got to go for it.
No move to bring the punting unit on here at 4th and 5 and 4:27.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Watch Brian Edwards here at the top of this route.
I guess at the very least, there's not going to be a Leach Penske car in Xfinity this year with Joey and whoever running it.
This place is going to go nuts if they can stop here.
4th and 5 at their own 44. Play clock's running down. And they have to burn a fucking timeout. Now they're down to one timeout. Now they got to score before the 2-minute warning. There's 4:27 left. They have to pretend there's like 2:20 left.
Play clock, and they weren't ready. We get to 4th and 5 here.
Why does that one assistant for the Raiders look like Jim Norton?
Greg Olson, offensive coordinator there, Derek Carr. And Carr definitely has something in mind there that he wants.
Yeah, it's hard to communicate out there right now. This place is rocking.
I mean, 4:27, they close this out on this play. Party will start.
Yeah, let's see if they give the same look that they did on that previous snap, which was full blitz. It does not appear to be the case. They've got a deep middle safety in Jesse Bates. Everyone else looks like they're in man coverage on their matchups.
Gotta have it, Carr.
Carr over the middle. It's caught by Deshaun Jackson, who ducks out of bounds at the 30. Boy, the camera got lost. I'm like, where'd this ball go? Oh, it's to Deshaun Jackson. I told you Jackson's the guy on this drive. Now he's in the game here. And he wisely got out of bounds. I'm surprised Deshaun Jackson didn't turn around and run 20 yards back trying to get a bigger play. Hell, I think he could have beat Eli Apple to the edge here and got up the sideline. Watch Jackson here. He catches it and immediately just goes out of bounds. Maybe I was wrong. They stopped the clock at 4:19 with that. Throws it short to Jacobs. First down on the ball. Got to score before 2 minutes.
Yeah, the faster you can go here, the better. You want to conserve as much time as possible.
We've only got one timeout now, so it has to happen before the 2 minutes.
The faster you can score, the better.
Versace's telling him get on the ball and kind of looking down the sideline just to, as you said, Drew, just keep the pace going.
In the red zone.
It's your only chance at this point downtown.
Goes to Zay Jones, out of bounds, gain of 7, 3:47.
Mark with the 10.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want here. You're able to get out of bounds. You don't have to use a timeout. Right about the 10-yard line here. So now you really do start thinking about, what are our shots to the end zone from this spot? Doesn't mean you can't take a completion in the field of play and get yourself a little bit closer. But
2nd and 3 at the 10. Carr throws it away.
Third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 3. You're really thinking about your matchups inside Renfro and Waller. Expect down here in the red zone, what the Bengals like to play is this form of brackets. What does that mean? Safety's going to come down and they're going to choose to double two offensive players. In most cases, it's Waller and Renfro, although Renfro came off the field.
Yeah, just came out. You saw Versace go down, say field goal.
I'm quiet because I'm just focused. Good protection. Incomplete. 4th down, obviously. It was tipped.
Yeah, he's lucky he did, because he had Waller running out the backside here on a shallow cross.
I might hit him with a draw here. I know that's ballsy, but it's 4th and 3, right? Go, hut, and then quickly hand the ball off and just see what you can get up the middle, get this first down, and hurry and get on the ball. I don't know. Any play call is open to you here. Well, they're going to kick the field goal. Which, let's be real, that's the right call. Okay, so it's a 7-point game with 3:34. They got a timeout, 2-minute warning. I was sitting here thinking 4 downs just because I'm greedy. Like I said, Madden brain checking in again. Got to make a stop. It's as simple as that. The Bengals get 2 first downs. It's pretty much over. Not of the field goal. That's what this game is. Did you hear Carissa Thompson basically exposed Marty Morningwig as a creep? She said she was covering the 08 Lions, and he started like trying to hit on her during the interview, asking her about her perfume and shit. Like, ew. And think about how young Carissa Thompson was back then compared to old-ass Marty Morningwig. It's like, yeah, nothing turns me on like a head coach that can't win a single fucking game. I'm sure that's what she was thinking. I only thought of that because that commercial just now had Aaron Andrews, and she was telling that story to Aaron Andrews on her podcast. Take note of the Bengals win probability. The Raiders are down to 1 timeout. The Bengals are going to have the ball 93.1%. Two first downs and it's over. I'm listening to the audio on my stream again to see how it sounds.
Get the ball back with about 1:55 left. The Bengals are a first down away from closing this game out. What will happen? First, the kick return. Short-handed out to the 26.
Gotta make a stop.
Take a look at our next stats powered by AWS and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, outside the numbers, he has been so effective today.
The only thing they got going for him here is that the Bengals haven't run the ball much, but I think they're just going to stay aggressive and do what they can to get that first down throwing the ball, because I don't think they're going to get it running.
His ability to simply flip his hips, catch these back shoulder throws. He's had 6 targets, 5 receptions, 84 yards outside the numbers today. Big plays continue to happen for Jamar Chase.
Raiders can stop it twice. Go to the timeout, then the 2-minute warning. From the 26, it's
Mixon gets swamped. 2-yard loss. Let this run a little bit. Save that timeout for the 3rd down if you get to it.
And that was actually a big stop by the Raiders. And not only do you stop, but you get a time.
Are the Bengals going to puss out? Nah. They're going to heave this fucker down the field to get the first on one of these plays. Which means somebody on that defensive line's got to make a play. I said they would be the way the Raiders can win this game. Now they're just their only hope to get back in it. Bring Chase around, toss the ball to him. And he gets away from everyone. He's dancing around. Ends up being just a gain of 1. Now you call timeout. 3rd down.
2:35 to go.
3rd and 11, 3rd and 10.
They're third in front
This
of the
is the game. A first down ends it. If the Bengals get this first down, they've won their first playoff game in 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a you cannot block this guy with one person. Whether it's the bull rush or the speed of the outside, here he is bull rushing again.
And how many penalties will the Raiders get on their final drive if they get one? Is there a quick bet on that somewhere?
And ability to hit it inside. He's got so many counter moves. He can use the speed. He's got power, long arms. I mean, he's got all the traits. He is a relentless pass rusher. And somebody that in a 3rd and 11 situation right here, you better chip him. He's going to be in your lap.
Couple things here. Does Cincinnati throw? If they throw,
Yes, the Bengals are going to throw, I'm telling you. They are going to throw to get this first down. Could be underneath, could be a screen. I don't know. It's going to be a pass play for damn sure. Or they'll just go down the field. A first down wins it. Go to Chase. Here we go. And Bengals call timeout.
Saw it, looked at it, and took a timeout. Down to
timeout.
1.
Cincinnati. Their second. 30-second timeout.
On Thursday night before Super
Derek
Bowl
Carr's just
56,
hoping to get the ball one more time.
Could be recognized for the best plays, the moments from the season. Tune into NFL Honors Thursday, February 10, 9 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus, and the NFL Network. Can you imagine
I can't believe Al and Chris got stuck doing the Kansas City-Pittsburgh game. Those poor bastards.
around the Cincinnati area right now? It has been so long since they won a playoff game, and they're this close. This play could change it. They get a first down here.
3rd and 11.
Yeah. Listen, I tell you, Steve, you're absolutely.
I'm nervous for both of these teams right now because I like both of them. They empty it out. P. Ryan moves up. They throw it to Uzama. And the Raiders make a stop. The Raiders are going to get the ball with 2 minutes. Down by 7. Oh, shit. The Raiders have lived in this all year long. They can do this. Here we go again with the fucking Raiders. And if this goes to overtime, it's going to bleed into that damn New England game, and I'm going to have to miss the start of that. 2-minute warning. Don't go to commercial. You just went to commercial. I'll be right back. Yeah, Michael. Although, Michael, if they had gotten the first down and then scored a touchdown after, this game would be over. But yeah, at least they got the field goal. Still, this is nerve-wracking now. Hey, buddy. I just want to pet you, buddy.
Bills on CBS, Eagles, Bucks on Fox at 1 Eastern tomorrow. Then the Niners and the Cowboys on CBS, Nickelodeon, and then 8:15 Eastern, Al, Chris, and Michelle of the Steelers and the Chiefs on NBC, streaming on Peacock. And on Monday night, Steve Levy and the guys will have the Cardinals and the Rams at SoFi, where everybody's trying to get to for Super Bowl 56 on ESPN. The average net punt from Huber would give the Raiders the ball at the 20.
Better get a good punt.
Hunter
Renfro lets it bounce, and the Raiders are going to get it near the 35. That's pretty good. Let's do this, Derek Carr.
How many times have we seen this year, Mike?
The Raiders are trying to do it again.
For a better situation. Based on the way this game has gone, some of the early penalties and turnovers, they really set them back, and they have fought their way back into this game, and now they've got a chance to go down in time.
No timeouts. What's the thinking as a quarterback? Got to get a touchdown here.
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
Because any ball that stays inbound, obviously, clock's going to run. You do not have that much time.
And Carr avoids a sack, gets it away to Jacobs. Nobody on that side of the field. 15 yards, first down. Gets out of bounds, and a flag is down. And is it going to be roughing? Oh, boy, this is a...
Jacobs ran into midfield.
Oh, and the Raiders are at the Cincinnati 35. Bengals fans, look away. It's happening again. It's happening again. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. That's not roughing. That's not roughing. That's horrible. Jesus Christ. Look. And that's going to possibly decide a playoff game. That's horrid. It's incomplete. Going for Waller. Waller hasn't exactly been a sure thing today. But they got good. They started at the 35, get a big play, and 15 yards on it. They're rolling here, a minute and 39. It's going to happen again, Bengals. It's going to happen again. At least in the playoffs, we don't have 10-minute overtimes. Carr, look out! He goes down. You sure you don't want to call that roughing? And Carr hurrying and getting them to the line. It's 3rd and long. They've obviously got 4 downs. 2 big plays here. It's 3rd and 17. 2 big plays. Just hasn't been there. Big plays just haven't been there. They get it to Waller. First down. I'm not believing this. It's happening again. Don't score too quick now. Give fucking Joey B the ball back. And it's dropped by Jacobs. It would have been a short gain anyway.
This was unbelievable. Especially the way they had to sped up on 3rd and long. I mean, Carr put this the only place you could put it.
That was Derek Carr is so good. He's so good. He does not get enough appreciation.
But you're going to want to take advantage of.
He needs a break. Foster Moreau's the tight end. Renfro's
Put some respect on Derek Carr's name for these throws he makes. Oh, boy, that was a high. Okay, just as I'm sucking him off, he throws that.
45 seconds left. Waller back in.
Two downs to get 10 yards.
Yeah, you're really thinking about, even if you don't get the first down here, certainly as a play caller, you're thinking, all right, I got to have my 4th and 5 play call in the event that this is in bounds and the clock is running. And then you're really thinking about getting up and clocking it. Because
Gamblers are hoping that the Bengals hold here. The spread was 5.5, which I thought was a lot for this game.
3rd and 10. Carr protected.
There you go. First down to Edwards. 38 seconds of counting. 36, 35, 1st and goal. I don't even think you need to spike it. Fake spike, fake spike, fake spike. Nope, they spiked it.
29 seconds. That's interesting there.
Zay Jones was ready for the fake spike. He was running a route. 29 seconds, second and goal. Bengals just haven't had a defense good enough all year to put anyone away. Said that earlier today. Oh, boy. Oh! Thought it was intercepted. I thought it was intercepted. It's incomplete. 2 more plays, 3rd and goal. Unless you get a defensive penalty, then you get 4 more. Yo, Carr tried to make one of them mutant throws he usually makes. Some of the throws Carr makes are very Aaron Rodgers-like. Three-man rush. Carr's going to have all the time to find somebody and get someone open. And Renfro's down in the end zone with no flag. Incomplete. 4th and goal. Okay, good no call. You turn around and you see a receiver laying on the ground. 30-year streak. All they got to do is not give up a touchdown. They'll call timeout here before this, the Bengals, I bet. Nope, they don't. Here we go. This is the game. This is the game. And it's intercepted. Or is it? Yeah, they say interception, and the Bengals get it. And it looks like they're going to win a playoff game. Oh, I wanted the Raiders to get in that end zone so bad. I wanted the Raiders to get in the end zone so bad. Yep, clearly an interception. Ball didn't start jostling around and change of possession until he was already down and on the ground, so that's a pick, and the Bengals win. Damn. And the spread was 5.5, and they win by 7.
What a season for the Raiders. Everything they've dealt with, right down to that last snap. Great leadership shown.
Bengals win 26-19. Got a little crazy there. 30 fucking years.
Unbelievable job done by Rich Bisaccia and this Raiders coaching staff and players with the adversity we've detailed.
Still just stunned that the Raiders even made it to this point in the season.
Futures going forward, but great respect earned within this league. For the Kitty Cats have arrived.
The Kitty Cats. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so. 20, 25 minutes. Whenever the game starts, 8:15, 8:20, whatever. I'll be here for the Bills and the Patriots. Man, I wanted the Raiders to score there so bad. Can't help but cheer for them after everything they've been through. But good for the Bengals. Not every day you see a 30-year streak in. All right.